African dance, Potato Africa, African style. This is Africa, African dance, Potato Africa, African style. This is Africa, for the beat, in African style, we do it like this. I wanna show you how we do in Africa. So you know what to do. So you know what to do. Mama, this is Africa. Massacre, massacre, it's African. African dance, Potato Africa, African style. This is Africa, African dance, Potato Africa, African style. This is Africa, who's in a dance to Nanda. Ababi Tagala Mamukuta, Mama Nataka Mamusanda. This is Africa, Pesho. So you know what to see. So you know what to see. Mama,
My
Africa,
earpiece.
African dance, Potato Africa, African style. This is Africa, African dance, Potato Africa, African style. This is Africa. Africa, South America, Hawaii, North America, Australia, Australia, that's Europe. This is African style, African dance, Potato Africa, African style. This is Africa, African dance, Potato Africa, African style. This is Africa, African dance, Potato Africa, African style. This is Africa, African dance, Potato Africa, African style. This is Africa.
Es que me había dado que era yo canté. Opa.
Jerusalem, Ikayalami, Ambeni, Tungangishilana, Jerusalem, Ikayalami, Ambenani, Tungangishilana. Oh, I'm not perfect. I can't believe this. I said you were not. Soon I get look into my eyes, pain and sacrifice. What's on my mind? Trying to survive. Soon I get no matter how long, anyone want me to don't you go It's funny, don't come across the road. I'm not perfect. I can't believe this. I said you were not. Soon I get no matter how long, anyone want me to don't you go dancing slowly. That's it for us to go. That's it for us to go. Jerusalem, Ikayalami, Ilondolose, Uhambenami, Tunamishilana, Jerusalem, Ikayalami, Ilondolose, Uhambenami, Tunamishilana.
Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night. It depends on where you're joining us from. Please let me know that you can hear me and you can see me. Can you just unmute and let me know that you can hear me or you can see me?
Yeah, we can
Loud
see
and
you.
clear.
Okay,
We can see you.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
I can hear you.
Awesome, wonderful. Thank you so much. So it's so great to have everyone here. Happy Pan-African Women's Day. I know the connection is pretty interesting. People are connecting and falling off from different countries, but you know, we love Africa. It's still going to happen. So as people come in, we'll still get them in. So welcome everyone, and thank you so much. It's such an honor to see all of the great ladies who are here, powerful women leaders from different parts of Africa. It is the Pan-African Women's Day. So just kind of give yourself a tap on the shoulder and say that you are African, you are enough, and you are awesome. We're having some feedbacks. So let's just, please stay muted, and maybe we might have to use emojis just so that things run smoothly. Just hold on a second. I want to make sure that all right. Okay, wonderful. So usually some of our sessions are live on Facebook and all of that. We're not doing that today just because of the dignitaries who are coming on. I have to honor them, you know, for making out their time to be here in this session. This is a very special one, to be honest. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm just going to try to give a shout out to some people that I can see. Tolu Lokpe, it's good to have you. Steve, it's good to have you. Lushala, Coach Kemi. Do me a favor and just get in the comment box and let us know what country that you are representing. It will be great for us to know what country that you're representing. Welcome, my sister Claire. It's good to have you. Thank you so much for making out the time. Today, you're going to be here with a lot of women in the area of leadership, a lot of women in politics, women who are actively serving. And this is why we had to have it as a close group. You know, this was intentional that we had to do it this way. You know, I'm getting messages from people, are we not going to have it on Facebook Live? No, we're not doing that. You know, we have to follow protocol. You know, it said when you are in Rome, behave like the Romans. So when you're with high level women who are in place of leadership, we must learn how to appreciate and honor them. I'm so excited to see my sister, Dr. Enobong. She's here. It's so good to have her here. Thank you so much, everyone. Dr. Julia from Canada, thank you. Findi, please get in the comment box and let us know what country you're representing. I see Kenya is here. I see Uganda is here. Nigeria is very well represented. My sister Sia is right here from the US. God bless you, my sister, representing Sierra Leone and representing Africa as well. Sis, Sia, I think your camera, it's away. We're not able to see you. So maybe you have to kind of stay centered.
Okay. Can you see me? Okay.
I'm only seeing the bottom of your face, is not showing the top.
Oh.
And yes, I'm trying not to miss everyone's beautiful face here.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone.
Much better?
Yes, we're getting it. Yeah, okay. As you come a little bit lower, it might work. Just so that when I put you at the center stage, it's going to work out.
Okay.
Awesome. So thank you, everyone. Please just get in the chat box. I will be going in the chat box from time to time. We do have two co-hosts who are working with us today. We have Mary Linda, we have Darlene as well, who is working with us today, and they're helping us on this event. So please, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask your questions. So happy Pan-African Women's Day. Can the co-host help with accepting people in the room? And please, all of the beautiful ladies coming, please, as you come in, just stay muted. Yes, we love you so much. Just stay muted so that, you know, the recording can be nice and smooth. You know, I see so many beautiful women from Africa. Oh my goodness, I'm confused. I mean, how is it that the world didn't know how great we look? You know, we just have so many beautiful colors, different shades of brown, you know, different shades of black. It's just amazing. I wish that African women can really appreciate themselves and just see themselves as the gift that they are. Welcome, Tobore. It's great to have you. So please get in the comment box. Not only would you introduce, tell us what country you're representing, but introduce yourself. Like, what do you do? It's a great place for networking. You just don't know. Maybe that person you've been looking for is in the room, right? So get in the room and just make it short and sweet. Who are you and why are you here? How did you get here? What country are you representing and what do you do? Yes, I know that most people here are very interested in leadership, but you know, we also, I can see my friends from LinkedIn, I can see entrepreneurs who so let us know where you're joining from and what you do. And please, my co-hosts, you have to help me out because when someone is trying to join, it gets in the screen and it gets in the way. So please help me out to admit those who are coming in, those who are struggling. Please just help me out to do that. I really would appreciate that. So yes, so we want to try to stay right on time. This event is going to be strictly 2 hours, and that's it. We're jumping in and we're jumping out. We're making sure that things are working the right way. If you do see me go back to my screen, it's just because, you know, people are still coming back with messages. I can't connect what's happening and all of that. So I still have to respond to them. So please pardon me as we do so. Co-host, please help me with those who are coming in. It's still, you know, it's just disturbing on my screen. And I'm away traveling, so I'm using my iPad. You know, pardon me. So welcome. Today is an extremely special day where we get to celebrate phenomenal African women. We get to celebrate our sheroes, you know, who have gone before us. We get to celebrate the great women who are making change happen in Africa and globally. The young girls and ladies who are upcoming. And of course, we get to celebrate you who is present here in the room. You are amazing. I just want to remind you that you are phenomenal. You are enough. You are powerful. You know, you are blessed. And why do I say that you are blessed? You know, just within the last 24 hours, I've seen so many RIPs of people dying. The fact that you are alive today, you know, you are blessed. There's so much protesting happening worldwide, so many killings, mayhem. Guess what? You are here. So you are blessed. That's what you need to know, that you are blessed. You know, you are powerful, you are enough. There is a reason why God has made you alive today. Now, I don't know if you're a Christian or not, so you're going to hear me mention God because I just can't stay without God. I'm so sorry. So whatever religion that you represent, that's okay. We don't have a problem with that. But, you know, my foundation is on my faith. So you might hear me talk about God, the Bible. Don't kick me away when I do that, but you're going to hear that. I mean, anybody who sticks around me is going to hear about God. So just let me just apologize first. I'm going to do like Coach Kemi. I'm going to apologize before you start hearing God back and forth. Now, you might be asking, why the Pan-African Day? So 62 years ago, it became customary that the Pan-African Women's Day must be celebrated each year on July the 31st. So some of you might have just been seeing it for the first time, and that's fine. So it's a day that we deliberately set aside for African women on the continent and in the diaspora. So you're going to see leaders who are in the diaspora here today and honor the achievements that they have made in advocating for gender equality, whether it's in Africa or globally. So today, like I told you, you know, it was 62 years ago. This happened in 1962. First of all, in Tanzania, that's where we started things from. So it's good for you to read about Africa. You know, when I hear women talk about how we want to change in Africa, you don't even know the Africa that you belong to. Please take the time to really research and find out who you are. That is part of our identity. So Pan-African Women's Day is a day to celebrate and acknowledge the foremothers of Africa who gallantly have fought for the liberation and development of this continent. So what does that tell you? That you have a role to play. So don't sit back thinking that other people are going to build Africa for you. No, no, sis, I'm sorry. I'm going to break that bubbles today. You have a role to play. So if you've been messing around, just sitting at the right, at the corners, it's time for you to jump in. It is important for us to acknowledge that African women continue to be a backbone of our economies, as farmers, right? Some of our mothers were farmers, right? Entrepreneurs, traders, scientists, leaders in several sectors. African women are everywhere. This morning I was listening to, the chairperson of the African Union, Musa Faki Muhammad today, on his speech today. And it really brought me a lot of joy to recognize that the African Union, one of their top priorities remains a full implementation of the policy organs call to have gender parity in the workplace or in the workforce as of 2025. And 2025 is just next year, right? And, it brought me a lot of joy, really, to pay attention to women and girls, protection of women and girls who have been forcibly displaced in Africa, and really for us to work together, hold our hands, and be accountable to deliver gender equality and women empowerment all over our communities. Well, this made me smile, but I thought, can this be implemented? Well, yes, it can. It requires every one of us to jump in fully and take part and take your place. So just kind of walk in and take your place. When I think about take your place, it's more like when we're little kids and you had to go with your parents to church. So you come into church and you find your little corner, right? So walk into Africa and take your place and dominate. And that's something we're going to be talking about today. How can you dominate? Wherever that you find yourself, whatever country, we made sure that we have panelists from different parts of Africa. So you're going to see someone that looks like you, right? You're going to see someone that has your kind of smile, right? So we have people from northern part of Africa, the west, the east. We were very intentional in picking the panelists, people who have made things happen, people who have broken the glass ceiling, people who have done the things that seemed impossible. Now, what is the role, of the African women? So throughout this Pan-African Women's Day, we have to come together to celebrate the exceptional women, like I said, that have played an integral role in shaping the future of the continent. We have to celebrate their remarkable strength. We have to celebrate their resilience, their achievements that have left an indelible mark in history, and how they've continued to inspire generations. I mean, they continue to inspire me every single day. I remember a couple of years ago when we were thinking about celebrating, and I know Sia was on that session with the African Union ambassador a couple of years ago. And one of the discussions that we had was that, why is it that when we think about African women and African women leaders, we're always talking about the Nana Asantewas? I'm not saying that they didn't do great work. We're always talking about the Queen Aminas, who some of them have died like 100, 200 years ago. What happened to talking about Coach Kemi of today? What happened to talking about Dr. Inobong of today, right? Because you are only inspired a lot of times by people that you can see. Because if I tell you that Queen Amina fought and things like that, you might begin to think that, oh, that sounds like a nice movie. Oh my goodness, she fought. Wow. But if I tell you about Sia, right, you're able to see what is she doing and how is this possible? Even in Africa, where we believe is the patriarchal society, but how are these people still able to forge forward? So in the face of adversity, these women, which you're going to see today, what have they done? They have really, shown that it is possible. Please mute your mics, whoever comes in, because it's kind of trying to get back at me. These women have shown courage. They've broken barriers. They've challenged societal norms to pave the way for progress and equality. Their unwavering dedication, whether it's to education, whether it's to healthcare, whether it's to community campaigns, or whether it's to sustainable development, whether it's just to fostering a brighter future. There is so much that they've done, and they deserve to be celebrated. And that's the same thing as you. Because I'm sure that you're probably doing something, but no one has ever talked about it. So what are we trying to do is to demystify Pan-African Women's Day. We always used to celebrate our sheroes. But what about those who are working today? Because when you hear about what others are doing, I believe it's going to inspire you. I believe it's going to hit you in your behind to know that, oh my goodness, as I get out of this session, what can I do to make Africa a better place? The continent belongs to us. Some of us are in different countries. But whether we like it or not, and that's why I really love Trump for the one bad thing, like in another way. What I mean that I like Trump is Trump says, go back to your shithole countries. And I said, wonderful, God bless you, sir. Because it looks like sometimes we leave Africa and we forget Africa. And the minute he said, go back to your shithole countries, people started doing their DNA. And some people got confused. I'm 5% Ghanaian, 5% Sierra Leone, 10% Nigerian. I'm like, there's a lot of confusion here. You need to be from one place at least, right? There has to be at least up to 50% in your system. But it took Trump to ask us to go back to our shithole countries. That's when we started finding our identity. So we don't have to wait for others to continue to throw us on the floor. We don't have to wait for others to drag us on the floor. Thank you so much for those who are joining. Please mute yourself. But we must know that we have to continue to champion gender equality. We have to continue to champion access to education. We have to advocate to eradicate harmful practices. Things like gender-based violence. You shouldn't sit down and watch it happen, right? So there are little things that you can do. You might think, I don't have a platform, I'm not yet a leader, but you want to begin from somewhere, right? So how can you get involved in this Africa on a great day like this one? This is where we're having a conversation about us. So if you agree with everything that I've shared, please get in the comment box and type in there, I am African, I am audacious, and I am awesome. Just 3 things I want you to take away. I am African, I am audacious, and I am awesome. Get in the comment box and just type that and say that to yourself every single day. If there is a day that you want to be proud of being an African, it should be today. But pride with something. What is in your corner? What are you taking away from this session? First of all, you have to get in here with the right mind frame. That's why we got the thinking coach in here. You have to be able to think the right way. Stop believing that this is for other people to do. But ask yourself, how can I be part of those doers, those who are making change happen? Because they're happy to work with you, but you just never said yes. Now, our own way of commemorating this special day is the Lift Her Up Summit, which we're having today. Now, what's the theme of today? Some of you might have seen it on the post, on the link. Maybe that's how you got in here. But the theme today is how to unleash the empowered, unstoppable, and audacious version of yourself as a woman leader. This session is designed to empower every one of you, which are African women from different parts of Africa, to close the gender gap in leadership. My sisters, if we do not embrace leadership, we're joking. Some of us sit there and think, oh, I don't like politics. I don't like this thing. Politics, I'm talking about politics again. I don't want to go. No, sis, it's not a nice to have. You must be in the room. You must be on the table. In fact, we've shifted from you just looking for a seat on the table to you being the table and creating your own table. This is a table that we just created. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait to be given a microphone in your community. Nobody's going to give you a microphone if you don't represent something great. That's why they haven't talked to you since. Because what do people know you as? And, we continue to say, oh, women need to sit at the table. Women are not looking for the seat at the table anymore. Carry your table, carry your chairs with you as a folding chair. If they don't give you one, make one. You at the table, wherever that you go to, start things up there. But what do you stand for? And so in this conversation, we're going to be focusing on 3 things. Today, we make it short and sweet. Discover, define, and dominate. How do you discover who you are, uncover who you are? How did these women, what are those hidden secrets that had helped them to take charge with authority wherever that they found themselves? They did something. That's why they're here today. And that's what we want to learn. Define, what kind of leadership approach did they use? How did it work? What are the tools? They are the same as you and I, but they were able to make it work. They were able to get to the front line, but they had to do something differently in order to be able to achieve a lasting impact. So what did they do that has made them a trailblazer? What did they do that has made them a leader, a mover and a shaker? That's what you're going to learn today. And dominate. I love that word, dominate, because dominate reminds me of the peacock. How many of you know a peacock? When a peacock comes, he just wants to take all the space. Now, women must learn how to dominate. Don't be afraid of dominating. You know, back in the day, people don't want to talk. It's like, oh my God, I just want to be quiet. I don't want people to hear about me. I don't know about those. I don't think that kind of woman is in this room. Because for you to be able to get to the front line in Africa or globally, you must be audacious. People must think at some point that you're crazy. Listen, if nobody has told you you're crazy yet, you haven't started. People have to think that you're abnormal because you must be able to challenge the status quo, right? People must be, people must have a problem with you. People must say to you, you're too much. What is wrong with her, right? So we have kept quiet for so long. Women in Africa have been known to be in the kitchen, but we left the kitchen. Who is still in the kitchen? Because I left the kitchen a long time ago. We are not in the kitchen anymore. We're not in the backyard. We are taking over. So if you are that woman who is ready to take over, who says, Dr. Louisa, I'm ready to dominate in my space, then this session is for you. So that's the kind of language that you're going to hear, because these women, let me tell you, when you see a woman who is a commissioner, who is an MP, who is a senator, they didn't go there by just looking beautiful in a selfie. No, they might do their campaign and have a flyer with a beautiful photo, but there's so much work behind the scenes to get them to the front line. There's so much. And so we want to encourage a lot more women to get equipped to position themselves at the forefront of global transformational agendas. We don't want women in Africa to take the back seat, but we want women to take over, to move forward, to say, where is it happening? I'm ready to do it. Nobody in my family has done it before, but I'm going to be the first person. Now, I just want to let you know that this session is brought to you by Women Who Win Africa. If it's your first time of coming across Women Who Win Africa, but we are a platform that empowers the African woman to build her leadership capacity in order to drive meaningful change in her community. So if that's you, then you're definitely in the right place. Women Who Win Africa, we do have membership and representative in every African country. And this is extremely humbling to me, because before I couldn't say this, but we had a session with women in politics recently, and a woman came in the room and introduced herself and said, Dr. Louisa, I'm from Madagascar. I said, who? We finally made it everywhere. Because so many of us in this room don't even know where Madagascar is, right? Maybe when you were in primary school, you learned how to draw it, and then over the years, you stopped putting it in the map. But they're part of us. And the minute we got to Madagascar, I was like, wow, we finally made it around. So, but with me today to deliver this event successfully are exceptional women leaders who are representing several African countries. So I'm going to be introducing some of these women. I don't know if my co-host is going to give us some music for a minute. Is she ready with that? But otherwise, we're just going to go ahead and introduce some of these women. Some of them are going to be coming in, some of them are still, you see what's happening in Kenya with all the headache in Kenya. The senator will be coming in, and she said, just give me a couple of minutes, I'll be coming in. We're having a sitting even at this time. I mean, look at the time in Kenya, but there's so much still happening. So with me are amazing women leaders, and I will introduce some of them with you. The first person that we'll be talking about today is Sia Fino. And we made a slight mistake with Sia, so I'm going to go back and just introduce Sia properly. So just 1 second. So with Sia, just 1 second. I know that I have it right here. So many things are going forward. Okay, so I'm going to move on to Dr. Inobo until I find that. Sia, could you just report me at some point? Let me just see what changes that we're supposed to make here. Dr. Inobo is a versatile change maker with a plausible success in leadership. She is a former Honorable Commissioner of Education, a former Honorable Commissioner for Rural Development and Cooperative, and currently she's the Honorable Commissioner for Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation in Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria. Another person who will be coming up for us shortly will be Senator Lorraine Nzumalo, and she is a senator from the Kingdom of Eswatini, and she has contributed immensely in gender-based issues in the Kingdom of Eswatini, as well as in the spheres of youth empowerment. Today as well, we're going to be having Honorable Maipelo Mofuting, and Maipelo is from Botswana. She's a member of parliament, charitable cause activist. She's a trustee of Goshen Foundation, which is a not-for-profit organization whose primary objective is offering holistic care and support for socially and economically challenged elderly people, orphans, and vulnerable children, children that were born in prison. Another person that will be coming up today is Honorable Karishma Pelham Rad, and she is an assistant minister of the Ministry of Information, and that is in Liberia. She's a top-ranking career diplomat. Could you please stay muted? There's a feedback. If there's somebody talking, please stay muted. That will be very helpful. Please stay muted if you're talking. Thank you so much. God bless you. Okay. So Honorable Karishma is coming in from Liberia. And we also have my sister Sia. And here, she was a former, I'm trying to get it right because I don't want to describe her the wrong way. People are sending all manner of things, and so I kind of missed it. But Sia has been in the political arena for quite a long time. She's very active. If you're in the DMV area, there's no way that you're not going to know about Sia. Sia is a Sierra Leonean-born American. She's currently a legislative aide with the Maryland Environment and Transportation Committee, but former 2018 candidate for Maryland House of Delegates, District 24, and former 2022 candidate for Prince George's County Council, District 3. I want to believe that I did not miss anything at that point. Thank you so much. Please continue to drop in your introduction in the comment box. Let us know where you're joining us from, what you do. Stay muted as we continue this conversation, but let us know where you're joining us from, what you do, and how did you get here, and what questions that you might have for each of the speakers. Please do not hesitate to put them in the comment box. All right. So we're just going to jump right into this, the deal of today. And, let us first of all go around the rooms with the leaders. Okay, please stay muted. My co-host, make sure that things stay muted because we're trying to record this so that if someone is listening to the replay, it's going to make sense. Okay, so we're just going to go around with our panelists the first question before we get into the main question is just for you to be able to share what inspired you to pursue on your leadership journey. Like, how did you even get started? That's what we want to know. What inspired you? And I'm going to begin just based on my screen. Let me go to Dr. Inobong. Dr. Inobong, can you hear me? Please unmute your mic, please. What inspired you, my sister, to get on? Your mic is muted, please.
Yes. All right. Good evening.
Wonderful.
Good evening, lovely ladies.
Good
I hope
evening.
we are
Welcome.
hearing.
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely.
So nice to see you, Louisa, after so many years.
Thank you so much, my sister.
I was just thinking today we used to sleep almost next to each other
I
in our
know.
room years back. In Fidra Calabar. So
Yes.
it's so great to see the work you're doing now. It's indeed a great work, and from the little what you've said so far, I've learned so much already. It's so interesting that we can connect this way. Well,
Thank
what
you.
inspired me, actually, I was on my own doing my academics, even though I had always believed that I could be called upon to serve on, higher and higher levels. But it really came as a surprise, to find myself being called upon to be a commissioner. And it so happened that I was not just sitting around, I kept developing myself. And from being a classroom teacher, immediately I finished school, which I can say my life has really been a life of divine guidance. Like you say, I too like talking about God a lot because that's actually my foundation. That's all I know. And it's really been an issue of divine guidance. Even reading economics back in school, in secondary school, I never thought of reading economics, but somehow, even though I love the subject, I didn't know it's something you can study in school. I didn't really know that, but somehow God guided me there, even though I wanted to do medicine. And from after my university, I found myself teaching. And in the process of teaching and doing business, because I am somebody that is entrepreneurial too, I found myself interacting with people at the university. And I said, wow, this could be a nice place to work in. So when there was an advert for admin, I went in as an admin person, even though I had a master's degree by then. And from there, I don't know, I wasn't satisfied. So while in the university, I started my PhD. In the process of doing my PhD, the people in my department said, we have only one woman here. Why don't you come and teach? And somehow I missed the classroom. So that's how I moved to teaching, because actually, if you're in the academia, they prefer lecturers as commissioners, because to be a commissioner, you need to be it's a technical stuff somehow. So that's how I found myself when the state was looking for somebody to fill the role, to fill up as commissioners. That's how I found myself there. And it's really been an interesting ride. What I advise people is just be preparing yourself, do prepare yourself. You never know where you'll be needed. I know, of course, you can say, no, I don't want this position, but I see it's been an avenue to impact people, to inspire women, to make people know that women can also go out there and make a difference. And I know that I've been somebody that God has helped me to actually have some level of impact, because women, naturally, what is put in our hands, if we don't spoil it, we make it better. But most times we make it better because we are naturally nurturers. So, and it has opened my eyes to see that, as you've said, women really need to get out there, because there are things that distract our men. But most times women, when they're in office, they focus and we are able to do as much as we can. And there are studies that have actually shown that women are not, I know some women have failed us, but it's not likely, even if a woman misappropriates funds, at times it's not as bad as the men. So for me, entering politics, I've come to see that there's so much to be done. There are so many lapses around. So we actually need to be here. I used to feel this thing is not really the best. Yeah, it's a dirty game. But I see that even, especially in my case, being somebody that believes in God, you can eventually carve your niche. It wasn't easy initially. Everybody was antagonistic. People were like, where did she come from? This one is not a politician and all of that. But as I kept marching on, remaining strong, believing in God, holding on to God, believing his ability to help me make it, because well, my own part of the world, people can be very antagonistic to a woman, especially when you don't want to bend to the things they expect you to bend to. They will be feeling, your own holier than thou, what are you doing here? And all of that. But I've seen that when you keep on, when you don't allow yourself to be intimidated, and of course, a good education helps you to know who you are. That is one thing. That's why I don't joke. I encourage people. Education is one avenue that gives you opportunity wherever you are. You try to get a good education. You develop yourself, not just getting education like some people get. Some people pay their way through in my part of the world, so they don't have what to offer at the end of it. But where you can talk, you can, present what you have, you stand a chance to make it. And I really encourage women, don't shy away, don't get intimidated, because people will try to intimidate you over and over again, and you feel like running away. But when you keep going, eventually you find a niche for yourself. And I think I'll stop there because I know we'll still have other things to say. Thank you
Thank
very
you so
much.
much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I mean, I love what you shared, because, it just kind of reminds me of the book project that we're working on, which is Close the Gap. I think that we need what you just shared in the book. It's important for women to know that you can actually be given an opportunity, you can be appointed, you can be given a chance, but it's always preparing yourself so that when the opportunity shows up, you're the right fit for the job. Because if you were not building yourself, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. And that's what women need to know. We're not gonna bring the opportunity to your home for you. We're not gonna come wake you up from sleep. You have to be building yourself alongside. And if you get to see what Her Excellency has been doing, I mean, I saw how much she's done, even in the education, like in equipping herself, just preparing for when this will come. So, you're imagining that, is this possible? Yes, it is possible, but go ahead and build you. If we give you a seat right now, what are you going to sit with? Right? You're asking for a seat on the table. You sit on the table. When the seat becomes available, are you the right fit to be sitting on the seat? Because sometimes some women have nothing to show, I'm sorry to say. And we don't want to have such women. I want to believe that we don't have those kind of women in the room. Please mute your mic as you join us. The co-host, please help us to mute people. Ruth, I don't know, there's still noise coming from somewhere. Please mute your mic.
You are muted. You are muted, Dr. Louisa.
I'm so sorry. So they muted me too. Oh my God. I'm the one speaking. Don't mute me, guys. So, yes, never be intimidated by anyone. If you're feeling weak and you're feeling like you're not good enough, I think you want to hang around with us more, because we're going to kind of bind that spirit out of you, because that's a bad spirit. it needs to leave you and run away really fast. If you have to step into leadership, you must be ready to challenge the status quo. You must be ready to challenge what's ongoing. You know, I mean, you can't be putting on your emotions like a garment. You can't be doing that. Somebody said something to me, then what? And you know, you're going to hear from some of these women. It wasn't a ride in the park, you know, and this is moving me on to my sister Sear. You know, Sear is going to be running for office 2026. We're looking forward to having Sear. You know, when I saw that Kamala was chosen, I said, why didn't we put my sister Sear there? Because it looks like Sear might even do a better job than Kamala, I'm sorry to say. You know, you know, because some people are just, I don't know, since when we brought Kamala, the only conversation I heard her talking about in the past years is only LGBT. And I don't know if she knows any other policies, and we're very concerned. It's better for us to get someone who really understands what we need, right? Not just someone who is, it's not about beauty now. It's not about the president asking her to go in, but can she do the job? You know, we need the right women. We can't make mistakes anymore. We've been beaten for too long. So when we send you to the front, you better go there as a lion who is ready to tear everybody down and make things work. And if you're not going to show up that way, I don't think we want to give you our votes, right? So let's just pass this on to Sear. Sear, I would love to hear what has inspired you to be the audacious leader that you are. You know, I worked, you know, I was part of Sear's team, and she was running for office, and this lady was unapologetic, just hitting it. And let me tell you, it's difficult for an African woman to run for office in Africa, but it's even more difficult for an African woman to run for office in America. It's like, who the heck is she? So, Sear, what has filled you and inspired you to be this powerful woman leader that you are? Very unapologetic. You don't really care. You know what the agenda is and hit it and go. What has inspired you? Over to you, Sear.
Good afternoon, everybody. I would just want to say it's such a pleasure and an honor to be, you know, amongst such, you know, women of high caliber, women of dignity and class. I am honored. It's an absolute honor to be here today. And Dr. Louisa, you know how much I feel about you. It is for me, I took my pain and I turned it to a purpose. You know, I was married at 18 years old, right after high school, you know, while all my friends were going to college, and I wanted to be a married woman. And I had my son at a very young age, my children. And at 22, I found myself in a divorce court in America. I've never been to court before, did not know what the court systems look like. And I was dragged. And it was a woman, a Black American woman, that took my hands and took me to a senator. And that's how I was able to make my way throughout in America. And I said to myself, wow, if I can go through this, there are so many African women, there's so many women, immigrant women that comes to this country and know nothing about the law, nothing about the system, and they're being bullied, they're being, you know, taken advantage of. You know, I can be that spokesperson. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm at work. The overhead is going off. I apologize. So from there, there's, you know, the senator that helped me out gave me a job, an opportunity. I was the first African woman, you know, born African to work in Annapolis in 2006. So I have been doing this thing since 2005, 2006. And I believe that African women everywhere around the world should participate in whatever government they find themselves in. You know, for me, we come here, we work, you know, our ancestors came here, our parents came in, work for, you know, 16 hours a day and have nothing to show for, you know, and most of us want to go home, but this is home. If you lived in America for more than 5 years, this is home. You know, your children are born here. You're going to give more to this nation than you ever give back to your nation. So that's my drive. I want African women to get in politics. I want them to, like you said, you know, they don't have to invite us. You can take yourself there. They don't have to call you. Walk yourself there and say, I am part of this system. You know, my children are here. I am here. I am paying taxes here. And this is my right as a United States, you know, citizen. So I decided to be part of this nation. And, we all rush home to run for office, but we can change laws and regulations in America right here by being involved in politics here. We can change things in Africa for our people back home. So we all don't have to go home to be president or ministers, to make change. We can make change here because these people listen to us here in America. So this is my drive. And all my life, I had a feeling that I was born to be a leader. I had that innate feeling in me that I was born to lead. So like the honorable said, do not allow anybody to intimidate you. People are going to try it. And who are going to try it is women are going to try you. Other women like ourselves, other African women like ourselves, they will see you as a threat because you're going somewhere, because they have seen your future. So they will try to stop you, but do not allow anybody to intimidate you. Stand up, speak up, and the truth shall set you free. Stand up for the truth. And I'm pleading to other women, especially African women, stop going against each other. Stop fighting each other. We all have a different calling. We all are able to do something in our own, position where God finds us. You don't have to bring anybody down to make yourself look big. You don't have to tear anybody down to make yourself look like you're glorious. No, we're all here. Can you imagine if the sky have only one star? It's not going to shine. So we need other women. We need, for me, if you cannot make me grow, then I don't need to be part of you. Because we are all here to help one another. And the survival of Africa is in the hands of the African women. If we can't get along, how are we going to solve the issues in Africa? If we can help each other, if we can bully each other on social media to prove to other people that we are bullies, that we are this big and bad, how are we going to solve the issue? These people are laughing at us. When I say these people, the American people are laughing at African because we say, oh, we are empowering women. Well, when the only time we can empower other women when they're underneath us. We never empower other women when we see that they're going to go above us. We should be able to do that. I'm sorry, I know I'm taking up time, but politics is very, and empowering other women is very important to me. We have to, work together, hand in hand, for us to make the narrative of Africa and Africans needs to change, and it starts with us, the African and the African women, because we are the mother of the earth. Thank you so much. It's an honor, Doc, to have me speak in front of this honorable group. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my sister. I feel the passion. Of course, it is the hard truth because no one is going to support us. I keep saying it. We must support each other. When something happens to a woman is the first person. You see a woman, you see a case of a woman who is sleeping with the boss in the workplace. And the women start talking about the woman first, not the boss. It said, she's in a shower, she's a prostitute. What about the man? What is his own name? Right? If the woman is a shower, she's crazy, she's this, that's okay. So what about the man? But we go first on the women and tear ourselves down. You see at the polls, when it's time for, elections, we have people supporting the men. The women don't support the women. So we need to stop it, because if we want to have more women on the seat, if a woman gets up to run for office, regardless of where she comes from, regardless of who her father is, regardless of how many times she's done abortion, that's not the issue. The fact that she went to the front line and she wanted to do it, give her your vote. Support her. Don't worry about issue of divorce or whatever. That's not your business, sis, because every one of us have got different titles and different names. Some that you don't even know about, because what you might tell me, my name is Sierra, but you don't know what I call you. And it's the same thing. I don't know what you might say about me, right? And so that doesn't matter. The agenda on the table is closing the gap, getting more women involved. It doesn't matter if a woman married 55 men. That's not your problem, sis. It's how can we move the agenda forward? How can we support this woman? What does she want to do? Yes, I might not have a voice, but I can be an echo to amplify her voice. I can support her with my resources, right? I can stand by her. I can vote for her. I can go around campaigning with her. And that's what my sister Sia is talking about, because we need the support. We need the support. And that's what's happening in Africa. Like, so many women get to the polls and they go back because there's no support. It's women who always say, oh, she doesn't know what to do. What is she doing there? Like, this woman, it should have voted me in. They should have done this. But you are not able to do it. But at least this person made it to the door. So help this person who is at the door first. And then she'll leave the door open for you to be able to get in. So thank you so much for sharing that, my sister Seer. So we'll go back to Honorable Enobong again. What kind of challenge, what has been your greatest challenge, sis, in this journey of leadership? Because you've served, this is the third time that you're serving. What has been your greatest challenge? What was that thing that might have happened in your life and you thought, oh my goodness, I think I made a mistake. I feel like running back home. Why did I come out in the first place? What has been your greatest challenge? Yeah, over to you.
Well, of course, we know cultures are different. Looking at challenges, well, in my own case, they had looked for women. I didn't even know that the governor then was looking for a commissioner from my community, because the one that was there had been, made to leave. So I had no idea they were, and that from my community, they actually wanted a woman, not a man, to fill the space, okay? So they had gone around checking different women, and none was really, the people they presented, the stakeholders also presented, were not really accepted. So that was how somebody came to my husband, what does your wife do? And he said, she's a lecturer. So he said, bring her CV, and the rest is history. But coming in, considering that I know for the election, there's a lady from my place that had been calling me, come, let's be going for meetings. So I'd actually started attending some meetings. But when I go, like my sister just said, people were like, where is this one coming from? Because in our place, when after a meeting, they share money. The person that called the meeting will give what we call transport. So people are not always excited to have more people being brought in. So they were like, where do we fit this one? Where is she coming from? And for me, it was laughable because the money is so irrelevant. I wasn't really coming from the money. I was coming to see if I can equally, help the community. Because another thing, like we have said, if women stay away, the people that are responsible stay away, those that we have tended in our side to leave politics to the riffraffs, because we feel at times it can be dangerous. People want to kill you, people want to harm you, people can harm your children because we have actually seen people being killed or kidnapped or gone through a lot because they wanted to be a part of the political process. So you notice that at times those that have a job or those that are making in life, you don't want to go there. But so when you see, for me, I was like, these people don't even know that I'm not eager. I'm just seeing if I can help my people to draw down things. Because if you're in a community where there is nobody to speak for you, you will not get the attention of governments in my own side of the world. So that was why this lady wanted me to also, you're an academic, you have, your husband is involved somehow to come, and so that you can also help the women folk get things brought to them. So I faced that challenge of not being, the people that were in charge didn't want me to come into the fold because they saw this one has, her eye is open. She can not see what is wrong and, bring a change, like my sister said. So that had been a challenge. And then on the men's side, Everybody, you hear somebody say, it's me that should have been there. I was the one that walked. I suffered. I did this. So by the time you had all those, coming in newly, and when I came in, it's not as if somebody really trains you in a place. They don't train you. They just expect you to know what to do and start running. So I've been, not that I was so young, but I was somehow among the younger, generation. You had people that were 50 and above. I was in my early 40s coming in. So they will feel this small girl, things. So the issue of being a woman and men feeling they should have filled the space, those challenges were very, very much there. People feeling that they had worked and worked for the election. That's what they claimed. We did this and that. So where are you coming in? There's the challenge of not wanting to go with the crowd. I don't know how, for instance, personally, I wouldn't like to go and sit down where people are sitting and drinking and discussing. That's how politics is done. People have where they meet at night, what you call night meetings, where they take decisions and stuff like that. So not being in that crowd, they now see you as being an outsider. That is a challenge that some of us have to face because they are not ready to, mingle at some level. I'm okay with if we are meeting in the daytime, if we are doing, but I wouldn't want to, go for some kind of meetings, and that forms a kind of challenge too. Being a woman, of course, there are some meetings they don't want you to attend. They don't want you to be part of. They don't want you to really, maybe programs you could have attended with the governor, because he's a man. He feels I shouldn't carry women along. So those kinds of things tend to form a challenge in the sense that maybe if you were around them, around the governor more, you could have gotten certain things, certain approvals, certain responsibilities that could open you up more. So those have been some of the challenges we have faced. Then, of course, people are so used to certain status quo that if you want to go against it, in the office, at times people feel, there are some people that feel if you are told to do something, bring the money, let's eat it, do a shoddy job. When you are not ready to do that, that constitutes a challenge, because you expect things to be done properly. You want to put things on the right track. So not following the status quo those have been some of the challenges that we have faced. Being a woman, trying to fit into a man's world, because of course there are more men there. At times they'll tell you, go, you're a woman, don't bring your own here. But you have to exert yourself and say, no, there's nothing like that. We try to hold our own where we find ourselves. So those are some of the challenges and of course, family. For me too, I was used to, cooking. Suddenly, I'll tell them, prepare things for me in the house. I'll come and make the soup by myself, only for you to find out that you're in a meeting till very late. So when I tried that once or twice, I said, okay, I give up. Not going to the market again on my own, those things you were used to doing by yourself. Suddenly, there's a protocol, you can't go here, you can't go there, you are now restricted. Things like that have sort of caused a challenge. But I thank God that my children had grown a bit before I entered office, because some women that have younger children, there is that challenge. How do you manage with these children so that you don't go and serve and come back to children that you have lost? So in the issue of children, I try to make, I don't, as much as possible, I try to make I tell my children, yeah, leave this issue of commissioners' children. We are still the same you. So like they were telling, some were telling me that their friends were saying, you are not even like commissioners. I say, yes, that is how I want it. Because if not, you start forming a false mindset. And if I leave this office now, you've already put yourself up there, and you want to do certain things you ought not to do. So that too comes for women. We have to remember that we are still wives and mothers. We still have to respect our husbands. So you force yourself to make sure that you still respect your man. You don't make him feel, I'm up here, get out from my way, because he's not in the office. So those challenges are there, to being able to balance family life with the office, still being able to coordinate your home, coordinate visiting days for the children, and so everything that has to do with family life. So for things like that, times you also face the challenge of who do you bring to your home to assist you, because in Africa we are able to get people to help us. So those challenges are there too. Now having to hand over personal things that you wanted to do on your own before, and opening up your space to new, people coming in, becoming a part of your space. So things like that, you need to be alert, very, very alert, because some of these people can now come in and become a source of problem in your family. I faced that too in the issue of drivers, BAs and stuff. There was a set I had that were taking my family business and taking it outside. But God helped me to be able to, overcome that and discover it. Our ears need to be on the ground too, not just running after, oh, I'm a politician, I'm here and there. There are times I've had to try to cut off people. I try to maintain my space, because that is very, very important. If not, you get lost in the whole, activities. And by the time you realize it, you don't even know what is going on around you again. So that the challenge of being able to control, still maintain a semblance of your family so that it doesn't disintegrate in your hand. Those are some of the things I remember for now. Let me leave the floor for somebody else. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing with us, Honorable Nobong. Thank you so much. If you're just joining us for the first time, it's the Pan-African Women's Day, celebrating the African woman, the resilience of the African woman, the greatness of the African woman, the work that we've done, celebrating the women who have gone before us, our sheroes, our leaders, our mothers, and celebrating you. Sometimes we are looking for love from everywhere. No one is giving it to you, but you're in a space where I am sharing love so freely. You're not buying it. And I love you so much, my sisters who are joining us from different parts of Africa. Thank you so much for who you are. There's so many reasons why you want to give up in every country. There's so much noise going on everywhere. Nigeria is about to start their protest tomorrow, but you've been able to hold on and still look beautiful. And I'm just thinking, oh my goodness, the African woman is powerful, and we are talking about closing the gender gap, because we cannot continue to stay away from leadership. We have to continue to forge ahead to close the gender gap. We have to continue to be a lot more represented. Get yourself involved. Sometimes I hear women say things like, oh my goodness, this president is so crazy. But you've never voted for anybody. You're not even in a political party, but you think that your leaders are crazy. Of course, we're going to keep putting the crazy ones there until you get a voter's card and get involved and come to the front. If you don't like what is happening, get involved, sis. And that's the conversation we're having. We're bringing in people who have done it successfully to show you that, you know what, their life wasn't perfect. Honorable Novon just shared with you. She was still a wife. She was still a mother. She still had family, her siblings. She still had to pay attention to other people. but she had to stop doing everything. I mean, you have to think about protocol and places that you're restricted. You can't go here, you can't do this. It's a new type of life. So you get into that. But first of all, you must say yes, that you're ready to serve. And that's why we're having this conversation on a day that is for us, by us, for the good of us, that come in and ask questions. What do you want to know? What are those things that have been troubling your mind? What are those things that you've wondered, like, is this even possible? And Marilinda says, if you don't like what is happening, then get involved. Absolutely. Get involved. And you will see some of the women leaders who will be speaking to us today. They are just like you, right? You don't have to get old. You don't have to. I don't know who told us that you had to be 75. Like some of our presidents, I'm not going to mention their name. You have to be close to your grave before you start running for office. I mean, where are you going to get the energy, right? You should start running for office from 20 something. Sis, please. You don't have to wait until you're dying and everything is falling apart in your body and you want to climb the stairs. Some of our presidents, as soon as you climb 2 stairs, you fall down. First of all, we have to give you some water to revive you before the meeting can continue, because your strength is gone. At that point, you should be taking care of your grandchildren. You shouldn't be running for office at 75, right? But they're still going because you've refused to say yes. You refuse to step out to say, you know what, I'm tired, I'm sick and tired of what is happening. I'm ready to come out and support those who are there. I'm ready to do it myself. And that's why we're having this conversation, because we're tired. I mean, look at America. It's difficult for America to even, produce somebody who is not like 78 and a half, about to die. All of the, candidates look like they're dying. What happened to the young people? That's the question we're asking. What happened to the young people? The president of Rwanda said, for us to have effective leadership in Africa, we need the sweetness of the young people and the experience of the old. The sweetness. What are you doing with your energy? You're going to Owambe to dance when we should be going forward to figure out what's going on. What don't you like? What are you uncomfortable with? What kind of communities can you join? Programs? How can you be part of what's happening in your community? So many of you, if I came to your street to ask, what does this lady do? Nobody knows your name. That's a shame. That's a shame. Why did you waste God's resources? I mean, God would have replaced you with the one who died in the hospital. Hello? Yes, I said it. So if he had to keep you here, there's an assignment for you to deliver. So stop sitting and covering your duvet and watching Netflix when things are falling apart. Get up and do something, right? Because you're here. God doesn't make mistakes. He kept you here for a reason. There is a gift inside of you that the world is waiting for. And just because you haven't opened your mouth, somebody's dying somewhere because you refuse to open your mouth. And day in, day out, we sit in sessions like this, going back and forth, and you go back doing the exact same thing. So how many of us are going to, first of all, register in a political party? I want to see your comments in the comment box. Let me know. Dr. Louisa, yes. I'm going to get involved. Yes. I'm going to send a message to a leader in my community. Yes. If you're in Nigeria, send the message to Honorable Noble. How can I help you? How can I be part of what you're doing? She's looking for hands. If you want to know what's happening in the US or in Sierra Leone, send a message to Sierra. Sierra, how can I support with what you're doing? How can I be part of your campaign? Post the right thing on your status. Somebody told me yesterday, oh, Mommy of Lagos is back. I said, are you serious? We're going to start having that again on our screen? That's the problem. So we need to have positive news, right? How do we move things forward? I'm not happy with what's happening with the women with gender-based violence. How do we move things forward? And welcome, Dr. Chi. It's good to have you in the house. Thank you so much, my sister. Oh my goodness, you made it here. She's not feeling well, but I'm so glad that you made it here. So how can we move things forward? Whether it's in your country, whether it's in your community, what are you using your Facebook for, right? Don't use your Facebook to repost gossip from Linda Ikeji blog. That's not what we're doing. Use your Facebook to do good things. I don't want to see you wearing your panties and hanging on Facebook. That's why people are still thinking that women are jokers. Cover yourself. We don't want to see the boobs and everything flying about. We have a lot of things that are bothering us, my sister. We have so much. The young people, the millennials, the Gen Zs, whatever you want to call yourself, you have the energy. We need you to help us shout it out on the mountaintop. Use your platform to do the work. Get involved in great, communities. Equip yourself. Work with mentors. Work with coaches. All of these people who we're bringing on today are ready to work with you, but you must first of all say yes. So please, I'm just encouraging you. Yes, I don't want anyone to think that Dr. Louisa has come with trouble, but I'm sorry, but this is something that I'm very passionate about, because I don't like people to describe African women like we're jokers. Who said we're jokers? Are you serious? Do you know the kind of work that is done? But that's because it's just a handful of us. It's like sprinkling salt in an ocean. Nobody can see the salt. And that's what we're doing. But if we have a lot more people, right? Next year is 2025, 30 years after Beijing, 1995. Where have we gotten to? We've been talking about female participation. We haven't even moved the needle forward, sis, for 30 years. So please, let's even bring it back home. Let's drive it back home. Whether it's in your village, get involved, sis. Whether it's in your city, get involved, sis. Don't get used to people not knowing who you are. That's a bad spirit. Bind it out. Anywhere you go, get involved. What kind of skill do you have? What kind of talent do you have? Dr. Louisa, I only know how to braid hair. Are you the best hairdresser? That's the question I'm asking you. If the president's wife wanted to do her hair, would they call your name? If they didn't call your name, then sis, you're failing. Build yourself, equip yourself with whatever gift that you have. Right? So these women make it seem like it's so nice. Oh my God, I just like this lady, this honorable. She's so beautiful. See, let me tell you, when you see her on the field, she's not going to be that nice, because she has to tear everybody down to get the seat. We must take it by force. This time, that's the spirit that we're having. We must take it by force. Don't be looking for who likes you. Listen, I don't like you because they don't like me. Are you an ice cream seller? Why should they be liking you? Nobody's going to like you. The first step is that people have to hate you first. You must take it by force. Right? So that's why we're having this conversation. That what can we do? But the thing that I find with women, even in Africa, is a word called intersectionality. We continue to complain, oh, we're not in the same class. We're not in the same religion. She doesn't look like me. I have more money than she does. Who is our father? Who is our mother? Stop it. Please, stop this thing. Stop this thing. Doesn't make sense. You are a woman, you're an African woman, period. Stop looking for labels. This one is not married, this one is married, that one married 5 fathers. That's not your problem. We're dying, right? Women are dying because of gender-based violence. And you're talking foolishness, right? And somebody said to me the other time, and even I'm here in Canada right now, somebody said to me that, in their apartment, in their condo, there was a case for gender-based, abuse, and they had to call the police. And the police came and I asked her, I said, what happened? Oh, I just saw the lady crying and she had some kind of like a blood spill. I said, what exactly? I don't know. I saw the police taking them out. You don't know? Something happened to a woman and you didn't go to ask? Are you serious? Don't let people be comfortable around you being foolish. The minute they see you, they know that trouble has come, and it's a good trouble. Why should my neighbor be beaten up by a man and I don't know? That's why I need you to be crazy. Your neighbor is beating up a woman. Please get a bottle and break his head. When the police come, we start the conversation from there. Yes, I said so. We have to begin to be aggressive and protect each other. We have to protect each other. How many are we? So we are not about tearing ourselves apart again. You have to believe in unity. The African spirit is the Ubuntu spirit. I am because you are. Who sold something different to us that we began to bring ourselves down? What happened to Ubuntu? I am because you are. I will protect you because you are my sister. I don't care what your name is. I don't care who your father is. I don't care where you come from. The fact that you're an African woman, you're my sister. So I want to encourage every African woman to embrace each other, right? Embrace yourself, love yourself, support each other. Somebody's selling something. Grace is selling something. Grace, can I buy that your peanuts? How much is it? Support each other. Don't leave the things in Africa to go and support the people in China. I'm not saying anything is wrong with China, but what about the thing you're trying to buy in China is right at your neighborhood? Support your own sister. Work with your own sister, right? If you have clothes that you're not using, my sister, help other people. There are so many people around. The issue of period poverty is killing so much in Africa. And yet you have pads, sanitary towels, you have you have toilet rolls, you have all kinds of things that you can support other people, and you walk past. How many of us have taken the time to buy 5 packets of pad and given it to someone who you do not know? Let's even begin from there. Let's even begin from there. If every one of us could be responsible and say, you know what, I'm just going to take from my closet and even share with somebody, the world would be a better place. So that's what this whole conversation is about. We must do it right, and we must do it now. There is no tomorrow. Okay, this is passing me on to my sister back again before we move on to the next woman leader. Back to you again, Sierra. Sierra, what do you think about gender equality? You know, I looked at a comment from the Director General of the United Nations, and he said it's going to take us 200 years to achieve gender equality. Do you think that that is the case? What can we do from now to, to correct that? Because that's his belief system. It's going to take us 200 years. But I don't think so. The minute I saw that, I said, well, not when I'm alive. We can't be doing 200 years. So what can we do, Sierra, at this point? What kind of steps can we make even as women organizations? There's so many women organizations that are represented in here. What can we do? Over to you, Sierra.
For me, I think the solution lies within the women themselves. I'm saying it from my own personal experience of what I've been through, trying to do 2 elections. We always say the men are against us. But for me, I've never had a man tell me that you're never going to make it. But I've had a couple of women that have stood, beat their chest. They said, you would never make it in America without me. So my challenge is not with the men. The solution is with the women ourselves. Until we start supporting each other, until we start opening ways for each other, until we start defending each other, that's the only way the gender gap is going to be narrow. Because I have never met a man that's told me, Sia, you are not going to make it. But there are women out there that are willing to tear me down. So, he's right, because we have to change, our, perspective about each other. We are not each other's competition. We're each other's support system. And that's what we fail to realize as women. We are our biggest critic. We are our biggest haters. When we see other women trying to break the glass ceiling, we'll be the first one to condemn that woman. Like the Honorable said, they will ask, who is she? Where she come from? Why must she do what she want to do? We always forget that we have our own children. We have our own daughters coming up. Because if we, the elders today, if we, the young people or the future now, blocking other women from going forward, from closing the gender gap, what do you think is going to happen to our children, our own girls that are coming up? They're going to face the same problem. So the solution lies in every woman that is represented here today, especially the African women. I don't know where that competitiveness came from for us to be so competitive that we are our own worst enemy. So we have to search within ourselves and say, what are we going to do to move forward? Because this is what they know us for. But we need to change the narratives of how we can help each other, how we can support each other. We need each other. Nobody can do it alone. We are not an island. We all we have to hold hands together to tackle this issue, because we have been talking about this issue all the time. And especially in the early 2000s, women's empowerment. You hear everybody doing women's empowerment, but who are you empowering? Is it just yourself? Or you want to just say the word empowerment to be inclusive into the conversation? So we have to think, we have to look within ourselves for that question to be answered. And if we don't, it is going to take 200 years for us to close that gap. But it's going to start with us. The ball is in our court. So we have to, change the narrative if we want to close that gap.
Thank you so much, Sierra. And if you're just joining us for the first time, it's the Pan-African Women's Day, a day that has been dedicated to celebrate the African women, the resilience of the African women, the strength of the African woman. It's such a powerful day. It's July the 31st every year. Not just the African Union that celebrates this, but every organization all over Africa, they know that the African women, the world is at a standstill just for the African women. There's been so many sessions since morning, different countries, everyone talking about how to close the gender representation gap, whether we are working with the African Union to achieve the Agenda 2063. For example, what we shared at the beginning, which is one of their top priorities, is to please, the co-hosts, please help me. People still trying to get in, and it's difficult. It just takes over my screen when this happens, I think, because I'm using an iPad. But we cannot do it alone. The African Union cannot do it alone. They need the support of every woman to get up to do it. So if you're just joining us in the room, please get in the comment box and let us know what country that you're representing and what do you do for a living, because we'd like to know who you are and what country that you're representing. As we continue the conversation with our leaders, we have, like I said, today is a very busy day. So you see people going in and out because there's so many sessions happening in different places. And these women are actively serving. And, the issue of, leadership and politics is one that women have been running away from for so many years. And we've seen that it is time for us to really hold the bull, the bull by its horn right now. And just know that it's time for us to crush the elephant in the room. So what is this thing that has been scaring you, has been keeping you away from making things work or from getting involved? And that's where this conversation has been stirring up from. We've gotten to learn about some of our leaders and how they got to where they are. And just as we continue this, I know that our minister is coming in soon. I received a message from her. She's trying to connect with us. They're just finishing their own event in Liberia, and she's going to be joining us very soon. So back to our honorable, another question for you is, there's so many young women who get in my inbox on a daily basis, and they said, we're very interested in getting involved with leadership or with politics. What do we need for the next generation, my sister? Like, where can they begin from? Those who are ready to go. Where can they begin from? Someone who is in this session and says, I am ready to go. I just don't know how to. Honorable Noble, how can I go? Where can I begin from? Over to you, Honorable.
All right, thank you very much. This is indeed a very great meeting, and I'm grateful that I was able to join, that no government appointment hindered me. Actually, to be a part of politics in our own climb, like my own states, how people go about it, you really have to start from the grassroots. That is from your ward, what we call a ward, which is made up of villages. We have the local government area. Then within each local government area, they are broken down into wards because of voting. That's how people vote, according to your ward. So if you are in Nigeria, I believe every state in Nigeria, they all have wards because that's how the federal government is able to administer the nation, going down from state to local government to the villages and so on. So if one is interested in participating in politics, when they call for meetings or programs in your village, you show face. Or when like our sister said, you can even start by, helping people, assisting people, because I know for my own family, because I am another challenge that I faced, which I forgot, is that where I am representing, I was married into there. If it was my own community where I was born into, it would have been far easier for me. For us women, some of us that have to go and represent our husbands' places, that creates a whole other challenge that you have to overcome, because you have to get the people to even accept you. They don't feel, they didn't grow up with you, you were not born there. So for them, where are you coming from? That was a very big challenge, which I'm still even facing. If I was representing my local government, it would have been far easier. But you can start from your local government, because the major thing with politics is being seen. You need to be seen. But then we know, like we talk, I am a person of religion. So in the Bible, you are told that God is the one that ordains leaders. So that too factors in
Yeah,
what your calling is.
what's the matter?
Your calling also factors in.
Okay.
So we need to
Uh-huh.
you need to know that it's not a do or die affair. Like we see some people, if you try, you go to also get involved with whatever is happening. That's why you should actually don't make politics should not be your job. I don't know how to put it. For some people, maybe all they can, that's what God wants them to do. But you actually have to still develop yourself, be doing whatever you're doing. Then from time to time, when there are meetings, you visit your village. Don't say they will kill me. If I go there, they will kill me. Some people can't go to their village, because politics starts from your hometown. It's your people that will know you and know you even from there. If they don't even know you, how do you even fit in? You have to come from somewhere. So it starts from there, that you are somebody that at Christmas you visit home and you share whatever little you have to those around you. From there, people get to know you. Because for us, people actually knew me and my husband. They know us because there's no December. We don't try to send something home, do something. Then also, even knowing you in church can help. They're a part of community. There are some people that are so much on their own. They just want to be alone. Even in their workplace, you don't want to be a team player in your workplace, because at the workplace, for some people, it is being active in welfare in their place of work. They were part of the welfare. They were part of the social activities going on there. For some, that's why you have at times people like Adams Oshomole, who was a union leader. He could now enter politics. So you need there are different platforms you can start from. Then, like we've heard, you also register in your party, become a registered party member, because if you are not, like when I was called upon to be a commissioner, one of the requirements was, where is your party card? Where is your voter's card? All of those were required. So if I was not somebody that was involved in was also interested. I had actually registered. I had a voter's card and all of that. If that was not there, it don't mean you have to always go there, sit down there, idle away. No, be doing whatever you're doing, but also get interested in what is happening in your community, your place of work, wherever you find yourself, socialize, be a part of what is going on, get the party card, involve yourself. Being one thing with politics is you have to be somebody that is open to people. You have to relate with people. You cannot be quarreling with everybody. Right now, being a politician, I've had to learn that on a whole new level. That somebody can be cutting your hand and you're still smiling with the person. Because if you are to be a leader, you have to still carry everybody along. Even when they are stepping on your toes, you are forced to still smile with them. If not, you just quarrel. When I started newly, it wasn't easier because people will so hurt you. People will go to social media and lambast you. They will tell lies that they don't even exist. But you still have to see all of that. And when you see them, you still smile and go on. If not, you can never function. So these are some things you need to be a team player, find yourself, mix, go to your go to your um go to your community and all of that. And that way you start going in little by little. For some people, it may be the first time you try, you get in. For some, it may take time. You also need a lot of patience. But then don't wait to be a politician before you can help. If you buy rice and beans, one bag, go and drop in your village with your villager and tell people, tell them to go and share it. You have started creating a name for yourself. The next time you come and talk, or there is a water project that was done, it has broken down. You have the capacity. You put in some money and repair it. You have started creating a name for yourself. There is a child that needs to go to school, maybe because most communities during December, Easter, they have meetings that they hold where they bring all the community. You can stand up there and say, okay, give me one child to assist. I will assist this child in school. You have started creating a name for yourself. You can go to your university and talk to the students. I was once a student. This is what I saw. This is how you help them in different ways like that. That way you have started putting your name around. People start knowing, this person. When something comes up, somebody will remember. Because at times you can have all the qualifications, but nobody knows it. Of course, that's why we have something like LinkedIn. If those community relationships are not there, and then like we've heard this time around, everybody's on social media. You try to create a social media presence, not to post rubbish, because some people have lost out because somebody went to say years back, this is what this person posted. I've seen people lose out on opportunities because they had made certain comments that now come back to haunt them. So you also put yourself out there and people get to know you. So if something comes up, somebody will remember, there should be somebody like this. So I think I saw somebody like this. From there, you can be brought in. So it's a process and it's also a calling. It's also a calling, but just start little and grow from there. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sis. I love that you said wherever you find yourself, begin to bloom there. You can, politics is a calling. I totally agree with that. It is a calling. And I think that for me, politics is being responsible. Sometimes people think that it's about, what you get and what comes with office. We have to see beyond that. all of the securities, and I love that you shared that, Honorable Nobong, like, you know, sometimes they need the securities. When you become a person of influence, you don't need the securities because you are leading people, all kinds of people. Some people are retarded, right? And some people can show you love in an interesting way. We've seen what's happening in Kenya. And so we have to protect our leaders. It's not a fun thing, even though we do have, you know, people who are misusing. We have a lot of misappropriation of funds. I understand that. But certain things that comes with the office are, it's not a nice to have. It must be put in place for them to succeed. It has to be. At that point, they can't be there for their families again. They can't tell you how many times they sacrifice. I can imagine, you know, if you had toddlers, you know, and it's always good to have kids at the right time if God gives them to you, because I can imagine if you had toddlers and they say, "Mommy, I want to sleep with you tonight." It's like, no, I'm going to a meeting with the governor, not tonight. We'll sleep another night, you know, and the kids will misunderstand. They would feel that you're not present in their lives. So people don't know how much sacrifice that you have to make, you know, just to make things work. They just see what comes with the office, you know. And thank you so much for sharing that and just being very open about your journey. It is very helpful. So if you're just joining us, of course, it's the Pan-African Women's Day. Please get in the comment box and let us know what questions that you have before we have others joining us. My pillow is having trouble from Botswana and Senator Lorraine. They're struggling and they sent me their screenshots. They're trying to come in into the meeting. So please let us know what the questions. You can unmute yourself and ask your question directly. That's the reason why we had an intimate conversation where you can actually unmute yourself and ask the question. It looks like Coach Kemi, you had something to share, because I saw when you turned on your camera. Would you have a question? That's your camera is on.
I didn't have a question. I think it was a mistake.
Oh no, that's okay.
Yeah,
that's okay. That's fine. So if you do have a question, yeah, thank you so much. If you do have a question, if you have something that you want to ask, something that has been holding you back, stepping forward, and doing what you need to do. What have you been struggling with? What kind of challenge have you been facing? Maybe you started something in your own neighborhood, and it's not encouraging, and you kind of feel like you want to give up. I remember during the last election in Nigeria, I had a lot of women who were literally, I'll get back to you, Coach Kemi. We had a lot of women who were literally in tears, you know, in the northern part of Nigeria. And they said to me, Dr. Louisa, no one is giving us a chance. We are here in the polls. There was this particular lady who made it through the primaries and was asked to step down. Imagine, she made it through the primaries, she got to the end, she was asked to step down and hand over seat to someone who had been on that seat 4 times. And, you know, she just felt like she wanted to lose her mind. I mean, she was just like, Dr. Louisa, it doesn't look like it's working. I don't think there's a place for the women. So I don't know how many people are in here. If you're, you know, a politician or a leader of some sort, just let us know, because I'm not going to know everyone who is in here, so that we can, you know, recognize you and celebrate you as well. And just let us know where you're joining from. Have you run for office before? Is it something that you're struggling with? What kind of gap exists, you know, in your industry, in your community? What are you unhappy with, even in your country? And I think Coach Kemi has a question. Over to you, Coach Kemi. Your hand is raised.
Yes.
Okay.
My question. Thank you. My question is, where do you go to Dr. Enobong? Where do you go with your idea, what you want, how you want to serve your community? Who do you speak to first? Or do you, like you say, you just go into the city or into the townships and you begin to give out things so you get yourself known? But you have a specific service you want to render. Is it best to just come to somebody like you and ask questions and discuss and then get counsel and then move forward with it? Or is there a particular place you have to go?
All right, thank you for that question. You know, one thing we have to know is that once you are not at the, one thing, if you are not really at the helm of affairs, it can be difficult, because even for me as a commissioner, I'm still like, we say we are somebody's servants. We have a boss. Even though you may have I've had so many lofty ideas that I cannot, express, because it's not in my hand. If your boss does not want to go in that direction, no matter how you kill yourself, they will not go. That's why another experience we have is that people attack you, you're not doing anything, but it's not in your hand to do, especially in a place like Nigeria. One thing I see is, like we see in Nigeria, the president is there. It is what the president wants. Those ministers, many of them have ideas and things they would have loved to do. But because they will tell you it's not politically correct, it's not, if you do it this way, you are going to disrupt things we face in politics, even to the extent of somebody not wanting you to shine. So they go all out to block anything you want to do. But I believe that has always been there. It's there everywhere, even abroad. At times, people are killed because they are trying to make a difference. So it's also a sacrifice you have to. At times, you want to make a difference, people see you as a threat. So they start blackmailing, they start doing all manner of things. But the kind of thing I'm trying to say is, for instance, in your village, at the village or local government area, I know there are people that try to go and do things, people will block it. But maybe if you can start in your village where these ones are your family, you can now bring things there and say, okay, let's share. But even within that family, the bad belly, like we call it here, people can still be so angry and want to attack you and all of that. So I do know that even bringing in a good thing, like I've had people say, we want to bring in aid, we want to help here, but the protocol around that help is so much. For me, when you try, if you can't get a headway, well, you've tried your best. God has seen it that you wanted to make an impact. I've come to learn in these few years that at times there's really nothing you can do. That's why even Jesus could not help the people in his community. He couldn't help them. So you have to also toughen yourself. That's why women coming into politics, you have to be tough. Women in leadership role, you have to have a level of toughness around you. You have to develop what we call thick skin, because you know that you will try things that people will want to block or hinder. So, like I was saying, if you want to start at that level, there are times you may need to meet the village head. We do things like that too. You are taking a good thing to a community. But when you go there, the entire community can even kill you. So what we do now, we have known this, you first of all find out what that community is looking for, what they would prefer. If you can, you find that out. I've had to do that by holding some level of kind of town hall meeting. You ask them to tell you what do you want. So when it comes from them, you have recognized them, they will accept it more. Then after that, you still need to go to the village head. Going there, you need to carry an envelope or carry some gifts. All those things soften the ground. So we have to know, you can't go and say, hey, I will not give anything. I will not do this. If you carry that attitude, you won't get it. So you need to soften the ground by getting some people, at least the village and some leaders closer to you, and start with them. They will be able to introduce you now to the community. So there is a lot of lobbying, politics, even when you are taking good things to people. Today, I had to go for an inspection of a project we are doing. And I still had to give out money from the youth to gather. Oh, you have come, or you have to give us something. If you want to be tough and say, I will not do it, they can even break your car there. but you are good, taking something good to them. So there are things like certain people you need to meet, people you need to, but if you try your best, like I have equally experienced, you've done all you can do, they don't receive it, my dear, you've tried your best, go away. God will open another avenue. The bad aspect is when we don't even try. That's where it be, or we just sit back and say, they won't accept. Let's even try. When you've tried and it doesn't work, you know you did your best. So
Wow, thank you so much for
Thank
that.
you.
Yeah, this is like some real, real stuff. Because sometimes things look a different way. And I just love this question as well from Regina Okoro from African Women Summit. And her question is, how can one secure partnerships or sponsorship? Because one major challenge I have observed most times in starting an idea is financial hindrances. Women empowerment needs financial empowerment too. So how can the young women who wants to empower women in her community go about securing funds? That is from um, Regina. And I had to mute myself. I don't know what's happening with the southern part of Africa. They're not able to get on the Zoom call. I don't know I don't know what's happening. Maybe has something to do with their connections, but I'm receiving messages from Botswana, South Africa, Zimbabwe. They joined us in the morning because there was a mistake with the timing. And now they've not been able to, and it's so sad because my fellow who is running for office actually have the media wanted to be part of this session to collect data, and they're not able to. So she just sent me a voicemail that she's really broken with this. But it's Africa. I mean, it's just we have to have more women step up. There's the space there for someone to step up and do something. Especially if we continue to complain about data and all of that. But we've done great. I mean, some countries were still able to join, but some are still struggling. It's just what it is. We just keep pushing until things get better. So back to the question with Regina. Says, through your ministry, how easy is it to secure funds? So, for example, with community-based projects, how easy is it for whether it's young people or older people? How can they secure some kind of funds to even get things started? Is there a way? Is it, do people listen to new ideas easily? Like what can they do? Over to you, sis.
is that me?
Yes, please.
Is it me? Okay.
Yes, please. The question was in the.
Okay.
She put in a question for you.
Do I really get that? Is if she wants to do something and
She
she
said
needs
what has
funds.
restricted her? What has restricted her is funds. In
Funds.
empowering, yes,
Yeah.
securing funds.
Okay. Like that's what I was really saying basically, because I know, thank God, is an enclosed stuff. There are many things you can't really say, but like for us, the way we operate in our ministries now is you take up, you have a memo. If the governor approves that memo for you, fine, well and good, you'll be able to do what you desire to do. But where it's not approved, you may end up not doing. That's why some people stay in office until they leave. They can't really case anything. But people don't understand that. They feel, she's in office, she should be able to do all. Like somebody actually said I should have tagged the entire community. When I was in rural development, I should have started everywhere, developed all the schools, developed. And I was laughing. I said, see this one, even in America, they cannot develop everywhere. See here. Okay, if I do my community everywhere is developed, what happens to others? Some people have very crazy ideas. But like I said, start with the little you have. Because what you don't have, nobody, no matter how people question you about it. For me, that's why I'm so happy I'm a person of faith. It has really helped me to always fall back to the fact that God sees me, He sees my heart. He knows what I would desire and love to do, but my hands are tied. So if you want to make impact, you want to do something. If you have 50, we use Naira. If you have 50,000 Naira or 20,000, do what that your money you have set aside can do. You can never please everybody or, create, do that very large thing. What we have been seeing is at times, by the time people keep doing things, along the line, God can open up a way and somebody sees you and says, this person has been doing this. And you become more empowered to do more. So you can never, the world over, everybody wants to really do things big, but our hands are tied. So I don't really see ministries are not given money to keep and assist people. The only thing is maybe if somebody brings an idea, for instance, I'm in the wash sector. So somebody like during the World Menstrual Day, we were able to go to some schools. That I did not get an approval for that, but I tried to squeeze out money from somewhere, and I bought some sanitary pads, bought roll-ons, bought for the men to not allow the boy child feel left out. We bought exercise books and biro for them. Then for the girl child, we bought put pads and roll-ons, and then we gave them a talk, and that became a very big thing. I didn't have much money. I think I spent about 500,000. And it became something that people were so happy and excited. And forever, those children, they've been given something. We use that chance to talk to them about marriage, about the need to protect themselves from pregnancy out of marriage and all of that. The need for them to focus. The girls, of course, they saw a commissioner that is a woman. I could tell them I was once sitting like this in a classroom, and see where I am today. Don't allow anybody make you feel less than yourself. Know that as a woman, you can reach the top. Things, those are, I've even had a chance to gather students. At times, it's not about money. You can gather people in your village during December, you cook food and they come and eat. And you use that chance to talk to them. There are so many ways we can influence people. Don't always wait for where do I get the funds to do this. You only work within what you have. If you're a classroom teacher, like when I was a teacher, I used to talk a lot to the students, especially the girls. When I see them distracted, I'll tell them, you girls, if you get pregnant now, your education can end, but the man will still go on and do all he wants to do. So I kept hammering on them. You're a girl, make sure you know you are more, you face more challenges in life. If you don't finish school on time, you will not marry on time and have children on time, because our biological clock is not like a man, that a man can be a dropout and still marry the best woman. That is what we have seen. So just use what is around you, start there, and from there you will grow. From there you can get help. Like in and going on internet too, there is another place you can see avenues. At times there are some funds and some, opportunities for women, because I know there are a lot of things for women which you can tap into, but you need to research and find out if it's there to get help, like the UNICEF, the World Bank, different places like that. They could have certain funding, which as states too, we equally try to draw down those funding, because the resources cannot possibly reach all the places that they need to reach. Any government has so much to do at any particular time. So we still look outside for help, for funding, for, all manner of assistance, any how we can get it. In Africa, I think there are so many things, but at times we don't know how to package ourselves and draw down these assistance, which I hope our sister can also help us in those areas too, because I know there are things like that available, but how to draw it down becomes a challenge. But start where you are. That's just what I can say. Start with the little you have. Even in your own home, some women have allowed their children to go wild. You are not guiding your children properly, and they become a problem to the society. You have girls, they are not training them. Even a girl that knows how to cook, that can be her business tomorrow. It can be what will keep her going till she gets a job. So there's so much to do where in our little corners. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, I saw Florence from Kenya. Florence, you sent a message that you wanted to share something. Florence from Kenya. Do you want to unmute and go ahead? Florence, can you hear me? You can unmute and go ahead.
Yes,
And you can actually, okay, you can come on the screen. Okay, welcome. Thank you, my sister. Go ahead, please.
This is from Samburu, Kenya. Florence is a teacher by profession, having an experience in a village where I am living and married. 2020, there was an election in a village that was for community land representatives, and I usually see things not going well, and I thought I will be the best. And indeed, I had a dream that I am going to fight for this. And when I started sharing my passion that I want to go and get this too, and because the community does not believe in women, I tell you, the women now, because I have been living in that community, teaching the same school, in the same community. They had a trust to me, a very high trust in a way that almost everybody is saying, yes, it's you, Florence. Everyone in the village, including the men, the gentlemen. But now, when it goes to the people who are learned, who are the managers of the land conservancy, who are the managers of things concerning land, including the people who are even serving in public offices, they were like not a woman who not a woman to be given a position or to be a land representative of a community. You can imagine how it is so bad. They gun against me, just using money to make sure that the community will not say they are right, will not vote for me. And I tell you, they said no election at all. And we took them step by step until we did the same. But I tell you, they used a lot of money, whereby they converted many people in the night, where when we went to an election, of which it's not a secret ballot, where people can line and count the heads of the people who are behind me and behind the guy who was being supported, a gentleman. We had a difference of only 5 people, being a gentleman being a winner. And before we took that step of pushing things to happen, and that is exactly why I'm so happy about sharing my story. And they sent a number of men into my home, telling the men to go and tell me that I should not even fight for that seat. In fact, they sent a series of men into my home, and it's against the culture to send even people. Like, it is a curse. So I was like, because I'm also God-fearing woman. By the way, I'm also a preacher. And because I believe in a living God, not a human being cursing me when I've not done any wrong. I told them, no, I won't listen to you. I am so happy about myself being a leader, and I will not bow down to what I want myself to be. So as we talk right now, we are in the same time of doing the same election, and I thank God because the man who has been given the position has not been delivering to the community the wishes of the community, and now the community is still back again. Like they're asking me, Florence, we still want you, and I'm still strong, going back to fight again for that seat. And being a class teacher, as my sister was saying, I'm also passionate that one day I will be in a biggest office. Those gentlemen, they were just using an excuse that, Florence, you should not be in this office. You should not be fighting for this small thing. You should be looking for a bigger rank. You should be a woman rep. You should be an MCA and or this and that. But now I was telling myself, if I have to be a good leader, I should start with my community, and so that I can cover a bigger position. I will be better if I start with my the where I live. But I thank God because I do touch lives, as she said, that you have to do the little that you can before you go to the biggest things that people can realize or the world will notice, as you are doing, Dr. Louis. In fact, let me appreciate you, woman of God. I have just like admired your spirit in the Facebook. Nobody has ever linked me with you. I just thought that this is a right woman that I should be following because she's a mentor. And from then, I started following you. Indeed, I had nobody connected me that you are a true person. I thought, like, let me go and see, because this one has been very persistent in the social media, the FB. So that is the reason why I kept on following you, because I have something inside me that I should be somewhere one day. And therefore, the women in the ground, if we should not be standing for our own, I thank God, because the women in the Samburu, the county that I'm living, many of us, like, it is the place where FGM is still being practiced. Myself, I'm cut. But for me, I'm a mother of daughters, that I'm saying my daughters, and I will not even fear to say in front of men that my daughters will not be cut. And the daughters that I'm teaching right now, I'm a teacher, and I'm trying to do all the best that I can to make sure that people know what this FGM is. And that is why I even have a passion that when I'm in a bigger ranks, I will have a bigger impact. But right now, I've started with the ground where I'm living by empowering women. And in fact, people can say the women of this community are much better than the men of this community. The village I'm living, it's a small village called El Kisin. It's out of any town. But now it's a village that is being known by even many people, because I know my a lot. But now let me just cut a short story that yes, we are going to stand by ourselves, women, holding backs of one another so that we can be strong. In fact, Louis, you have many followers, I being one, and I'm so happy about you. Thank you so much for being a woman empowered. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Flor. It's good to see you in person. Florence has been part of our community for a while, and even I think it was the public speaking program, correct? Through the academy, because we run so many sessions in the academy. And I remember when Florence got into the academy for the public speaking program with Coach Ikalon. And, I got to see that she was from Samburu and the work that she's doing, with gender-based violence, with FGM and all of that. And this is what, Honorable Nobong said, you have to show up powerfully wherever that you find yourself, sincerely, because through the course of work that we do, and thank you for your kind words, to be honest, I'm very humbled. I have been able to meet so many women from different parts of Africa. We have started off programs. I've never met them in person. I'm blessed to have you come and share this today. It really touches my heart. And this is what fuels us and keeps us going when we hear testimonies like this. Yesterday I received a message from someone, and the lady said to me, and Coach Kemi, is great for you to hear this. She said, I've started working out now, something I've never done before. And when we were doing the challenge, we never saw her for one day. But I didn't know she was doing it at the back end. And she said, you know, I feel a lot better. I started working out and I feel a lot better. And my health is better. I just wanted to say thank you. So just from showing up, you might not know who is watching. You might not know who is listening. You might not know whose life is getting transformed. Somebody in this room probably wanted to give up. Somebody in this room thought, you know what, I've come to the end of it. It's not working out. It's time for me to throw in the towel. Somebody in this room. But just because we had a session like this to openly share, it's great for us to have safe spaces like this. Come together and have safe spaces where you know that this is your space. You cannot be judged. This is Tolfak. Tolfak is saying something. I'm seeing a message from Tolfak. Achieving work-family balance. Tolfak, can you share a bit about yourself? Do you want to unmute? Because we have a lot of programs in our community, Tolfak. Some of you are just seeing me for the first time. We have so many programs in our community. Women shouldn't be struggling. I see your message, I'm not yet married. No, it's okay. You know, you don't have to be married. Marriage is not really an achievement, sis. I don't want people to be worried about being married and not married and have children and not have. You're fine. What is important is that you are a woman, you are enough, period. Don't worry about this marriage thing, because marriage sometimes becomes a limitation. Oh, my sister is married, I'm not married, and then you just feel your sister is better than you. No, sis, just keep vibing. Some people marry people who actually end their lives, right? So don't be stuck on that. So can you unmute Tolfak? Let's know who you are, like where you're joining us from, because we have so much programs. Coach Kemi is here. We have so much, because I see what is happening with you. It's a mindset problem. So please unmute, let us know, and we direct you to the right person. When you get in the, yes, please. Where are you joining us from, my sister?
Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Tolfak. I'm joining from Lagos, Nigeria.
Wonderful.
Yes, I'm an educator, a language coach, and I'm on a mission to make learning easy and bridge the gap between African languages and the foreign languages as well. So actually, the thing I've noticed is, in as much as I used to think of it like, okay, I know I have an assignment, I'm on a mission and all of that, but I just find myself, thinking that how's it going to be like, because I also in the future, if I get married, have kids, how am I going to combine the work and all of that? So it's something, that's why I said, could you please talk more about it? Yeah, thank you.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much, Tolfak. You see, you're such an amazing, look at this kind of beautiful lady hid behind the camera. You see what I'm talking about? Such a wonderful lady. Look at what she does. Please, everyone connect. Is that your real name, Tolfak? What is your real name?
Okay, my real name is Toluwanimi Fakeye. But I usually say it, yes, I usually say Tolfak because most people mispronounce my name, and
it doesn't matter. Why. Let me tell you, don't change your name for anybody. They will learn how to pronounce it. When we go to Europe and you want to buy something, even when we can't pronounce it with the worst accent, we try to pronounce. Don't shorten your name for anybody, because I can imagine that your name has a great meaning. Don't shorten it for anybody. They have to learn how to pronounce your name, right? Don't shorten it for anybody, please. Okay, thank you for your question. There's another question here by Marilinda. Marilinda, do you want to unmute and just talk about this? Marilinda works with the young women, and she's an advocate for celibacy. I'm so afraid when I see Marilinda, because she's going to start asking who has slept with a man and who hasn't. But over to you, Marilinda. Do you want to say something? Is Marilinda by the mic? Please go ahead, Marilinda.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much, Dr. Louisa, for this opportunity. You just said something that got me laughing. Okay, while Honorable Enobon was talking, she said something about how that they went to a community and they were talking to the girl child, and they were able to get roll-on and books for the boy child. So I wanted to ask, aside the what they gave out, what were they saying to the boy child? Because I know the boy child was right there in that meeting or in that meeting, whatever it is they held at that point. So what is it that you were able to tell the boy child? Because you can't just keep educating the girl child. There should be something we should be telling the boy child. We should be telling them, okay, this is what we are telling the girl child. But this girl child lives amongst you. So what is that message for the boy child? Because it's as if everyone, every community, every organization, everyone wants to talk to the girl child. It's as if they are
For
too
the
timid
girl child.
and all that. But what is it we should be telling the boy child at the same time when we have the opportunity to talk to them? I don't know if you understand my question. So I want to also learn, because
yeah.
I've had opportunities to
That
talk to
is
girl
a
child.
that is a very good question. You know,
All right.
we've so hyped the girl child that now it's like we've chased away all the boys. You go to even for instance, my dad lectured agriculture. He was a lecturer, he retired as a lecturer. And he came home one day and was like, now agriculture is full of girls. That is, girls that are everywhere and they are the ones topping the class. This was a course that men used to dominate. And it's unfortunate because it seems when there is a problem, we go and overwork on that problem and now forget where there is no problem. You know, like in politics, what happens in my state, the local government areas that are giving the government headache are the ones that will be more developed than the ones that are peaceful. So at times people go and make trouble just to get attention. And of course, we know in psychology that happens too, that some people, some children act up because they have been ignored. So for me, I'm an advocate because like when we were to go celebrate that World Menstrual Day, some people were like, we will isolate the girls to one. I said, no, let them all stay together because these boys, they have sisters, so they will know how they will relate with their sisters during that time. And of course, being a Christian, I'm an advocate for celibacy until marriage. So I always tell them, because there are some communities in Akwa Ibom, if you impregnate somebody and the person dies, you are made to marry the corpse. And some people have been destroyed because of that. There are some men, you know, they don't do even to carry wine or just do something on a woman's head. They don't do, they just carry the woman, put in the house. And before you know it, she's pregnant, she has children. And along the line, I've seen the one that the person died. The money you didn't have to marry that woman, you will now spend, because when you're to marry a corpse, you must do every single thing on the list. That's why it so destroys men. And then the whole spiritual aspect of marrying a dead person. So we also took time to talk to the guys that they have to equally focus, because women of nowadays are so exposed that they won't even tolerate nonsense again in marriage. So if you feel I will marry a woman and keep her as a slave, you think shouldn't develop yourself. Like even my son, I'm telling him, nobody's daughter will marry you if you don't know how to cook and know how to do certain things too. You have to, because it's now you don't even have helpers again, even in this part of the world. It's hard to get a helper. So if you are not training your boy child as well, my mom trained both the boys and we women. We all know how to pound yam and do anything. So if you are not training side by side, is it not our women that will go and marry these boys? You didn't train them. You will still face the problem because it's a vicious cycle. So of course, we equally talked with them on the need for them to stay clear, to focus on their books, not looking for girls to, do whatever they want to do with. We equally took time. And actually, the boy child needs more help than the girl child, because they are the ones that do very daring things. So they need even more attention. We need to really pay a lot of attention to them. If after all, they are the ones that are supposed to be the head. So if the head is not okay, then we know we are in serious soup and trouble. If the head is standing well, the society would have been a much better place. All these women running to prayer houses looking for solution, if their men were standing well, they would not have to be going. And you know what the problem we women, we of course in this are running around too. We have brought a lot of other problems to the family. So for me, the boy child is very important to talk to as well. And then coming to the other question of about family life balance. Well, what I've come to see, it's really hard to say in life, we should not, we should learn to take a general outlook on life. If you want to follow a particular order, it becomes difficult because what works for me may not work for you. So people should be open. But for me, my mindset is God expects me to procreate. He expects me to have children. So he will find a way to help me to take care of these children. And I should have a mindset that I should take care of my children. For instance, in I've been working all my life since I finished school. Immediately I've been working. I started my NYC, I did it in Mobile, producing Nigeria. So it was tasking. I used to leave the house very early. And in this, my working time, I've had my children. So I had to learn how to do, express milk and keep the best way to express milk and handle so that it doesn't spoil. So somebody can feed the child if they have to feed them, whether it's daycare or wherever. So there was a period I actually had to take my baby to work, and I had to find a way around it so that my teaching job did not suffer. And mothers just have to be creative. And we also, and of course, I did baby friendly for all I've had 5, but 4 are living. All my children enjoyed breastfeeding for the first, absolute breastfeeding for the first 6 or 5 months before I added food. And I've, in their later life, I've not had to struggle with sicknesses and all of that. So we have to find a way around not allowing our families suffer because they are pursuing career, or not to say, I will not do this. For instance, for me, I felt this baby formula is not the best. But then there are some children that cannot be okay only with your breast milk. So you have to look for the best baby formula. But let it not be that, oh, I'm working, so I cannot even sacrifice for my family, for my children. You always look for the easy way out. We need to balance up these things. Some women will say, I'm working, so I cannot cook. And they don't even mind that there's so much turbulence in the house. No, that's not good, because that's why the world is against women progressing too, because we are allowing other aspects suffer. But if those aspects don't suffer, if the balance is still there, they will definitely encourage you, unless you are with a man that is a narcissist or feels challenged by your growth, which we should teach our daughters. Don't just jump into marriage. Like our sister said, don't just say, oh, I must marry, I must marry. Know who you are marrying, that this person will be able to align with your ideals, with your, what you are thinking of, what you plan to become in life. Because for me, I would never think of myself as a stay-at-home mom. I didn't grow up that way. So for me, even when I was lecturing, I was equally running a shop, a small supermarket. I'm always looking for one thing or the other to do. So if I married somebody that does not accept that, it would have been a very big headache to me. So in all our doing, let's still balance. And you know that these children, like now I have an empty nest. Before you know it, they are all grown. So just endure those few years of trying to bring them up, and you will see that before you know it, it's over. Yeah, and you also have balanced children around you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Inobong, for all that you've shared. To be honest, these conversations are so important. We've seen that, and Tolfak says thank you for your response with creating work-life or work-family balance. I find that a lot of young people misuse the term mental health. Before you talk about anything, I said, oh, it's affecting my mental health. I said, calm down. Are you carrying your mental health in your mouth? Like it's going to fall off every minute you laugh? Like, are you serious? I think it's also an excuse. But, creating a work-life balance is very important because if you're going to go into politics, you're still a mother, you're still a wife, you're still a sister, you're still a member of a church, you're still a member of a community. Not one part of you should suffer, right? Like, you must be able to create this balance. And there's so many programs that helps you through this, through all this process. And thank you so much, Lolo. One person made it from Botswana. I don't know what happened to Botswana today, honestly. It's very interesting, but I'm glad to see one person here who still persisted to be here. Fashini, my sister, where are you joining us from? I don't know if it's Mauritius or Tunisia. It's great to have you here. That's a woman leader who is joining us. Thank you so much for your time. I think the lesson that we've learned here as well. Oh, someone joined us from Barbados. Oh my goodness, Vicky Otaruyina. Thank you so much. Thank you, Vicky. I'm very grateful that you made it here from Barbados. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. Then, some of us might want to get, if you did register for the conference, you will get a recording just because of what is happening today. I always try not to do the conference, the summit from Mauritius. Thank you. I try not to do it on a day before, but I find that on the day of Pan-African, it's the network is always insane. I think there's so much happening everywhere. So maybe next year we might consider having on the day before. I really don't usually like doing on the day before, but it looks like the network is not getting better. It's always very difficult to get things through, but I'm very happy and appreciative of everyone who is here. Zainab, my sister Zainab, that's another woman leader who joined in. It's good to have you. Tulisili from Eswatini, it's great to have you. He said many attempts. There you go. Today was difficult, but we're here. But I'm actually happy that we're having these conversations. That's why the network is happening like this, is because there's so many of these conversations happening today. It just shows that everyone is on their feet, making sure that the African woman is equipped for the future moving forward. So thank you, every one of you. If you haven't shared what you do, Anita Majoma, please, what country are you joining us from? Some of us, I've never met you before. Divine, where are you joining us from? Wahab, please let us know and comment in the box where you're joining us from. Dr. Esther Peter, please, can you introduce yourself, Dr. Esther Peter? I saw her for a minute. Can she unmute? I was going to ask who she was. Could you please unmute, Dr. Esther, and let us know who you are?
Hello, sisters. Hello, I didn't want to
Yes,
interrupt.
please.
I
That's
have been
fine.
enjoying the session so far. Can you all hear me?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Yes, I've been enjoying the session, and I want to thank my sister, Ms. Zainab. She and I had worked together a while back, and out of the ordinary, she just
Wonderful. Well, where
just
are
like
you
that,
joining?
with no wording, nothing. I am in the U.S., currently in Maryland.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm originally from Nigeria. Yeah. And
Thank you.
it's my first time ever, and I'm loving what I hear. I see women that are like me. I want to say hi to my sister, CF, She's a powerful woman. Ms. Zainab is also powerful. Ms. Zainab and I both serve on the African Diaspora Advisory Board here in Prince George's County in Maryland. Yes, and I also serve in various capacities here.
I love it. That's
wonderful. But it's an honor to hear with all of you, and I see women who have the same vision as myself, and I'm just loving it. I'm looking forward to, motion. So there's a way I can sign up and be part of this. I'll do.
Oh, I think we're losing you. The network where you are is getting bad. We can't hear you anymore. Yeah, we're losing you.
I would love to have the sign-in information. Oh, sorry about that.
Would you want to leave it in the comment box? Because it's breaking off, but I'm so glad that you made out time.
I'll do that. Thank you.
Okay,
I'll do that.
Thank you so much. So there's a question here. That's the final question we're taking from Divine. It says, how do you narrow down your vision to a particular niche? That's not a question for this session, but we would be happy to guide you to the right path. For someone who is cross-creative and versatile, how do you niche down my impact? Do you want to just send a message to Coach Kemi? That's a totally different session. But I love your question. I'm passionate about advocating against period poverty. So the different parts to your question, we do a lot with period poverty, inspire girls in tech and leadership. That's wonderful. Thank you. So please, Divine, I love you. Please send a message, Louisa at louisa@akaiso.com, so that we can send you to the right room, the right person to work with, right? That's going to help you through the process, because you have like 5 questions in there, which is really, really important. But first of all, when you talk about niche, that's the beginning. And the right person has to guide you through the process. So please do that. So that, the first thing that we do in the academy is the marketplace agenda. And that's where that question is answered. But I'm going to pass you to Coach Kemi, who's going to help you with that. So please send a message and we will be able to guide you on where to go, where to begin from, the programs that you should go through. And thank you for your question. Okay. So I'm so sorry that we went a little bit over time, but I am so glad that you made out time to be here. These conversations must be held. And thank you for all of you who are here up to this time. We have other sessions that run all the time through our community. If you're not following us already, please do so on Facebook. It's Women Who Win Africa. You can also check the links. Darlene had posted links of where you can get into our newsletters. We have so much happening in our newsletters. We have so many columns. You heard me teasing Mary Linda. She's doing an amazing work with the single women, but she always has a big koboko. It says, the single women, you can't be sleeping with this kind of. I said, oh my God, when Mary Linda comes, I start running, because I'm like, who has slept with who? Mary Linda is here now. So if we have different kind of corners within our newsletter, that's a great thing. We have a corner that's focused on GBV, FGM. We have another corner that's focused on women in politics and leadership, branding and visibility. We have that. So whatever that you're interested in, I'm sure there's something there for you. So click on any of the links. If you just kind of scroll up a bit, you see something from Darlene. Please click on any of those links so that you can get into our newsletter as we continue with our sessions. We have a lot of classes that hold. You heard me talk to Coach Kemi, the How to Think. It's a boot camp that runs, because everything begins on the mind. When we look at the African women, sometimes there's so much junk that is going on, and it's not your fault. It's just because of where we came from, right? I can imagine if I asked everyone to unmute here, 99% is going to say somebody told you at some point you were not good enough. Somebody told you at some point you're not the one who is good for the job. And so that thing continues to follow you. It's like a demon that just keeps following you through. And until you develop yourself and break away from that, that can become a hindrance and a limitation. So even the women who are doing great, they were there at some point. We also have programs from those people who are going through, divorce. We have Dr. Julia here. If you're going through divorce or any form of brokenness, Dr. Julia has the program for you. Because a lot of women, and don't always feel bad. I came from a broken family, and I always say that I don't think that my mom ever recovered from divorce. Some women just never recover from it. They never ever heal from it. And it affects every part of you. Something that affects you, even your health. It affects the way you see the world. It affects the way you show up. So we have the coach here, who works with people in our community. Generational trauma is a thing. So don't shy away. Or if you're like, Dr. Louisa, I was raped 7 times, and that's okay. Like, that's no news in our community. We're just like, come the way you are. We want to work with you, and be able to, unlearn and unbundle all of those things that have held you back and move forward for the work ahead. So there's so much that we do. We have the public speaking sessions. We have the shyness boot camp, because so many African women are so shy. That's why we can see so many beautiful women on the screen, but they refuse to turn their cameras on because of shyness, right? So we have a program for that. Shyness is a thing. And we get you to break out of that. So whatever that you're interested in, we have so many sessions for the African women. We're all about that, helping the women, African women, to build her leadership capacity. And you're interested in politics, we have the Women in Politics program, and we're here to work with you. But today, the conversation was just on the Pan-African Women's Day. We're going to have so many other sessions. We have so many sessions that continues to run. Interestingly, Olushola says, kindly mention the Facebook page again. Yes, it's Women Who Win Africa. Women Who Win Africa. And send an invite, you'll be accepted. There's always a lot that is happening there, right? So if you're crying, come, let's cry with you. If you're laughing, come on, let's laugh with you. Let's hold our hands together. Don't shy, and then the next thing we heard somebody committed suicide. We don't want to hear those kind of things. When we have a community that you can find friends. You say, oh, Dr. Louisa, I don't have any sister. That's my problem. We have sisters here for free. We'll give you sisters. You want 20, we're going to give you. So come in. There's no excuse for you, Dr. Louisa. I don't have a mother. I don't have a mother too. So what's your news, right? There's no news here. So come in and let us work together. Don't shy away. Don't die and just let yourself to be treated badly. I was dealing with a case. I got a message on my my LinkedIn, and the lady said, Dr. Louisa, I'm dealing with a narcissist abuse. And I said, okay, let's get on a phone call. And I said to her, what's the guy's name and how can I contact him? She said, no, let's not talk about him. He's going to kill me. He's going to kill me. I have 2 kids. I said, then you're not ready. You're not ready. I don't want to come to your funeral, right? Let's deal with it now that you're still alive. And there's so many women who are in bondage, in pain, right? And it's not your fault. Maybe you went into marriage because you didn't know you didn't know anything else. You had a family to take care of, or you didn't have anyone to care for you. Nobody loved you. That's okay. But we can make a change moving forward. So please get in touch with us, get in our community, because so much is happening there every week. Get in our newsletter, enjoy the free programs, the paid programs, work with the coaches. There is a lot. Don't be alone. Don't die in the corner. And come on, just connect with us. So, I think at this point, we don't have any more questions. Yes, please. Thank you so much, Dr. Esther. Of course, absolutely. So if you're the lady who talked about the Period Poverty Program, we do have that. We are happy to work with you because sometimes we need hands on the field to help us with the period poverty programs, right? So if you're ready to work with us, then you can do it in your community. So let's do it together. I don't have a platform. You can be part of us. You can be an ambassador here. What do you have in your hands, my sister? There's something in your hands. You have a gift. Let's begin from there. That's what Honorable Enobong says. Begin with what you have in your hands. Begin from that now. Don't wait for something bigger. Let's start with what you have now, and then you grow into something bigger. So thank you so much. Thank you, my sister Seer. God bless you. Thank you, everyone. If I didn't mention your name, thank you, Bonnie. What country are you representing? Thank you so much. I know I've seen that name in the community, but thank you, Ruth. Thank you, Ayodele. God bless you, Sololo. Thank you, Lois. Thank you. Adrienne had joined us and she had to leave. She's also a woman in politics in Rochester, New York. but originally from Ghana. She was here with us, and of course, break time is over. Some people had to go because break is over. So thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Julia, for your kind words. You can also follow me on LinkedIn. It's Louisa Akaiso. My name remains the same. Check on us, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have a lot of content there on our YouTube channel. It's Women Who Win Africa. It's the same thing. Or you can check on my name. It's Louisa Akaiso. Go and enjoy content. There's so much that you could enjoy in there. So at this point, we hate to let you go, but just before we go, we're just going to go around the room. And I just need to say one thing. Who is the woman that you're celebrating? Is it your mother? Is it your sister? Give a shout out to that woman. Who is this woman that you're celebrating, and send some love to her? That woman might not be here. Maybe they've inspired you at some point, but just say, who is this woman that you're celebrating? We'll go around the room. As I call your name, just unmute your mic and just tell us, which woman are you celebrating? So we're going to begin from Grace Balasar. Grace, which woman are you celebrating? Are you ready to unmute? We move on to Vanshini. Vanshini, which woman are you celebrating today? Vanshini, unmute for 1 minute and let us know who the woman is.
I am celebrating my mother.
I love it. And what would you like to say to your mother today?
She has been the pillar of the family because she has been handling all kind of situation, whether it's immediate family or people her surrounding the community. She has been a mother to everyone, and she has tried to keep everything going despite facing many hurdles and many obstacles. For me, she is a role model, and I want to become like her, and I want to grow strong and a leader. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vanshini from Mauritius. God bless you. See, the women from Mauritius are so beautiful. You should have blessed us with this, your beauty sins. But it's okay. At least you came on for 1 minute. Thank you so much. Over to you, Sololo. Who are you celebrating today? 1 minute, Sololo. Tolfak, you can unmute. Who are you celebrating? 1 minute.
Good evening and thank you.
Okay, go ahead, Sololo, quickly.
Yes, I think I'm celebrating myself today.
I love it. That's the spirit. That's it.
Yes.
I love it. And why are you celebrating yourself? Are you celebrating growth, greatness?
I'm celebrating growth on my side. I'm growing. Wonderful. And I'm doing a lot of things. I'm actually on top of my game. Thank you very much.
I am so proud of you, Sololo. Sololo is part of our community. She's an educationist in Botswana, but she's doing amazing. She's gone through almost every program that we're doing. She's jumping on it. Whether it's how to think, public speaking, she's there. Now she's, she's now an author and doing so much more in the community. And that could be you too. So thank you so much, Sololo. Okay, next person, Flo. Who are you celebrating? Please unmute your mic as you're ready. Edith, unmute your mic. Who are you celebrating?
Well, hi, my name is Edith Gooden. I'm celebrating myself and also my grandma. And I'm originally from West Africa, Sierra Leone. And the reason why I'm celebrating her, because she was the first paramount chief, which is Ella Koblo Gulama. So I'm taking her full step. And currently I have a daycare center. And I'm in the educational background. So my motive is to help, the kids, because, when we come from Africa to here, the culture shock, there's a lot of culture shock that I went through when it comes to education and also when it comes to discipline. So, because of my grandma, the background of her, and embrace that, she was she was in the parliament. She was in the parliament, and also, sorry about it, my kids. She was in the parliament, and also she was for the women, supporting for women to get rights, because back in the days, women have no rights. They cannot speak, they cannot able to walk. They have to be at home. They have to be housewife. You know, she was one of those females that fight for women to have voice at home. So, you know, I admire her. So it gave me the courage to take her full step. So yes, I'm celebrating her, and also I'm celebrating myself in order for me to be successful in America.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. See, such a beautiful woman. And the
Thank
camera
you.
was off. That's the problem. Okay, Zainab says she's ready to go. Zainab, please go.
Okay.
No, yes, I'm celebrating myself, and I'm also celebrating my mother and all the strong women around. I learned from my mother how to deal with marriage issues, multiple women in marriages, stepchildren, and just resilience. She's 81 now. She still thinks she's 20, and I am glad I took those traits from her, and the boldness I took from my father. But all the women, a lot of women inspire me to do so much, and I celebrate all of you here. I mean, just taking your time to even come and listen here is a big deal.
Thank you so much, Zainab. Vicky is ready for us. Vicky, who are you celebrating?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm celebrating myself. And of course, I celebrate my mother as well, who has always been an entrepreneur, who has always given all that she has, even emotionally, spiritually, financially, even when she didn't know how to give us everything that we needed. Even emotionally, she still did her best. So I'm grateful today for being born to her and just having the opportunity to become who I am today because God chose her to be my mother.
I love it. Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that.
You're welcome.
It's Tulisili. Are you ready to go? Bonnie, please unmute your mic. Who are you celebrating? 1 minute. We're out of here. Who is ready to go?
My name is Bonnie, and I'm celebrating myself just for being who I am and just for being a strong woman.
And which country are you representing, my sister?
Nigeria.
Welcome, my sister. Thank you so much. Celebrating yourself, that is powerful. Okay, so next person, Divine, who are you celebrating? Salmat, who are you celebrating? Janet, who are you celebrating? Unmute your mic and come in just for a minute.
Hi everyone, good evening. My name is Salma. I'm from Nigeria. I stay in Lagos. I'm actually celebrating myself despite I've been going through a lot, but I didn't give up. I keep on networking with people. In fact, this program has been an amazing, and I feel as actually on track. So thank you everyone for all the contribution. I really learned a lot.
Thank you so much, Salma. God bless you. Tulisili, my sister, who are you celebrating?
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Thank you so much, Dr. Louisa. The first woman I'm celebrating today is Dr. Louisa Akaiso, who has just brought up all women to learn and to motivate and to elevate and just to be full of themselves, who has just chosen this day. So I just chose this day to sit down and listen to what women are. You are great, my sister. Keep moving on so high like an epic. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, we're moving this on. Who is ready to go? Taufak, who are you celebrating? Are you Delhi?
Okay. Yes. I'm celebrating my mom for being super resilient and teaching me that. But I'm also celebrating myself because my growth has been very, very serious. As at this time last year, I never would have been, if I'm in a room like this, I would probably not show my face. I was super shy and I had this self-esteem issue. But so yeah, I'm celebrating myself for that growth.
Thank you. I celebrate you too. Lois, are you ready to go? Who are you celebrating?
Yeah, good evening. I'm celebrating my mom and the other women who have been great inspiring for me. My mom is a creative, she's a spontaneous woman, a risk taker. She's a lot. and though we never got on the same foot, or we hardly get on the same foot sometimes, she always has inspired me spiritually, physically, mentally, and otherwise to be a strong person. She has always ensured that my mind is in a safe place to. She sees the passion in me and she says, keep going. So I really celebrate her and the men and women all over the world, the preachers and the speakers who have shown me that it is possible to do great things in your field. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Lois. Regina, I saw your camera. Are you ready to go? Who are you celebrating?
Okay, good evening. I'm sorry, I'm not in a place where I have enough light, so that's why I had to put off the camera. Okay, I'm celebrating my mom. Yeah, definitely. She's actually taught me how to be strong despite the odds and keep pushing. She has taught me what it means to be a woman. And I'm also celebrating you, Dr. Akaiso,
Thank you
for everything you do for women empowerment. And I appreciate you a lot.
Thank you.
Knowing very well that you are like my mother-in-law, got married to a man from Akaiso State, and I appreciate you so much. Thank you, and I appreciate every woman out there that's doing something for women empowerment. You're all amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Regina. I hope he has treated you well. We have the best men. That's what I was told. Okay.
Yes, right.
Thank you. Okay, Sia, who are you celebrating? And Dr.
Hi,
Esther
I
will go.
apologize. I kind of left you guys for a minute, so I apologize. I'm at work, but I'm celebrating myself and my mother. First, my mother, because I wish she was alive to see how far I've come. You know, she had me when she was very young. She was 17, and she didn't live long. You know, to see she died when I was 10. I wish she could have been here to see what this daughter of hers have become. And I'm celebrating myself as a woman because of all the trials, all the temptation, all the hatredness, everything that have been thrown at me. I am still standing. I'm still standing in my faith in God. I'm still standing in the belief in myself and those that are looking up to me. I want to thank myself for not giving up, for keep pushing, you know, with everything they have said that I will not make it, but I'm still going. It takes determination. It takes perseverance. It takes strength and faith. So I thank myself. And I want to thank each and every woman on this platform. You mean something to the world. You are somebody in your own way. You are mightier than you ever think. If we can come together, we are forced to be reckoned with. I want to thank you guys. Thank you for giving me the platform, Dr. Louisa, to speak to these honorable women that I share the stage with. Thank you all. God bless each and every one of you.
Thank you so much, Sia. We have so many of us, our mom is not here. So I'm just like, I saw your delay, and I lost my mom. I said, your delay, you didn't make the news. Me too, I lost my mom too. My sister, we have all lost our mom. Don't feel bad, sis. You know, when your mom passed, she handed over the baton to you. Now you have to ask yourself, what are you doing with the baton? You know, shake it up so that you can pat other people on the back who have lost their mom too. So many moms have gone. Can you imagine? So your mom is probably having lunch or dinner with my mom too right now. So what can we do with what we have? You know what I mean? So don't feel bad at all. Don't feel bad at all. Over to you, Dr. Esther. Who are you celebrating?
Thank you. You said, who am I celebrating? I'm going to be celebrating so many people. First, myself, my mom, and all of you beautiful ladies here. I'm going to start with my mom. She has endured a whole lot. And from her, I learned patience. She's a very meek and humble woman for anybody who knows her. Very meek, very gentle, married off at 16 to a narcissist. And growing up, I've grown up to talk about it and acknowledge the fact that she has been in a very toxic environment for the longest time. And watching her grow up as a young girl, I was forced to grow up fast to bridge the gap with my mom. I had to stand in. I was forced to make up for her pain. It's been a whole lot, and it had its effects on me. And I'm also celebrating myself because through life's battles, through life's challenges, because when you grow up in an abusive situation, you tend to fall into an abusive situation yourself. That's something a lot of people do not realize. You tend to be a victim yourself because you've normalized what you witnessed as a child. And some of my sisters here, Sierra, Zainab, you guys know my story. Yeah, but all of the challenges did not deter me. I grew up a young girl who wanted to be a medical doctor. I wanted to work at UPTH, University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital. Life challenges did not deter me. I ended up going to nursing school, found myself in the US, went back to school, bachelor's, master's, and now med school. And I am thankful to God for that because I stayed focused. Even though I was kind of weight of the world, family and everybody on me, I stayed focused. And I'm still, because we all believe, I heard somebody say, yes, we're here on a mission. I believe we're all here on a mission. And I want to ask myself every day, when this mortal body is lowered into the earth, what would be said of you? Who's going to mourn you? Whose lives would you have impacted positively? Would you be going back with all the gifts that God gave you, or would you be going back empty? And this is me here trying to empty myself by touching lives positively. I appreciate all of you. Dr. Louisa, I appreciate you. Honorable Enobong, I appreciate you. Thank you for sharing. Ms. Z, I appreciate you. My sister Sia, thank you so much for all you do for the community. We see you. Thank you all for allowing me to share this. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So I think that we're going to pass this to Honorable Enobong as we're closing this. Who are you celebrating, my sister?
Thank you so much. I really celebrate you, my sister, for what you have become. I just look back and I appreciate God because we would never have thought we would have come this far. This is the Lord's doing. I celebrate all my sisters on this platform today. It's really a privilege to be able to see all of you, interact with you, and life has taught me that everybody is passing through something. And I could not bear what some people are passing through. When I feel it's so overwhelming, I feel like running away, I remember that there's somebody in a worse situation. So I celebrate all of you for living life. Some people have given up, they've committed suicide, they've just left their life to go like that. But every woman here, you've accomplished one thing or the other to even find yourself here. So I want to celebrate you for the things you've contributed to society, that you've not been a pain to society, you've added something. I really celebrate my mom, who has been a very good role model in keeping our family together, because if she was not strong, if she did not hold on, I don't know where I would have been today. Because there, of course, if our mothers didn't help us, maybe we would have found ourselves in very funny places. Or if they allowed life to deal with them and they gave up on life. If my mom gave up on life or gave up considering the challenges she faced, it wouldn't have been very okay. I may not have fulfilled purpose. So I want to celebrate her. She turned 70 this year. She's still going strong. She's right now in Canada with my dad. And she just said that she has gotten a job, so she's so happy. I said, she's so used to working. My parents have been very hard workers, so they are still looking for jobs at this age. I really celebrate her. I celebrate my dad and all the women, lovely women in my family too. My siblings, they are all very hardworking and giving back in one way or the other. I celebrate them. Thank you very much. It's really been a privilege to be here. I didn't know we had this wonderful resource. Now I have a page to follow, and I believe we'll learn more as we go on.
Thank you so much, my sister. Divine has had her hand up, and I don't want to push it down. Divine, who are you celebrating?
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Um, Everyone is celebrating their mom, and sometimes it can sound cliche. What woman are you celebrating? And it's just your mom. But I think it goes a long way to tell us the kind of impact as women that we have. So when they say men are rarely celebrated, every time it's just the mothers. There's just something about a mother that even a man tells you just something about his mom. So I want to celebrate my mom also, and I don't want it to sound cliche or just like a stereotype. I grew up in Maiduguri. I firsthand witnessed the Boko Haram insurgency firsthand. We practically had bullet droppings falling into my house. So we witnessed all that. And there was something significant that my mom did. I think I shared this story during the International Women's Day, and it's won the global spotlight in my company. And my mom decided to stay back in the north just to make sure that we don't just leave the north with nothing. I want to mention that my mom stayed back in the north for an extra 4 years. Her family will call my dad, where's our daughter and all that, and she'll tell him, don't pick their calls. And she will say she cannot live here and come to wherever we were going to with nothing and watch her children. Said she will leave this place when her last child is in the university. And she did just that. I was in my 200 level when my mom finally left the north. And last year, we faced something that almost took away my dad and my mom. I just wish I grew into half of what that woman is, because she's a powerhouse. Like, I don't know how, I'm not a mother yet, but maybe I have mother. How do you do it? It's just like things hit you and you don't move. You're just there. You keep pushing, you keep moving. That woman is a strong woman. I want to celebrate her. And I also want to celebrate every other woman that has given another woman a chance. When Miss, I don't know if it's Miss or Mrs. Sia was speaking, and she said something that meant a lot. She said, men are not our problem. We are our own problems. And I want to give a shout out to every woman who has, closed her eye to the fact that this person I'm helping and this person I'm showing up for may be better than me, but still have done it regardless. A lot of women have that crab mentality. We're not going to shy away from that topic, but I want to celebrate every woman who has given another woman an opportunity to stand in the same stage she's standing, to push her even forward or to even bring her up to where she is. And I want to celebrate myself, who is doing my bit to become, that woman worth emulating. Simone Biles says something. I'm not the first Usain Bolt, I'm the first Simone Biles. So I'm doing everything in my capacity to be the first divine Ifeoma Chinyere Ezendokwe. Thank you.
Wow, that's powerful. I'm glad that I gave you a chance and I listened to you. Thank you so much. I know so many women want to share something. Marilinda, I feel you. Thank you so much. I celebrate every woman that is in this room, that you said yes to yourself. It means a lot to me. The world is a better place just because you are in it. And I celebrate you, my sister, Honorable Enobong, for the work that you're doing. It is beautiful to see, and you just keep going and make it look flawless. But I know how much work is behind the scenes, and to get to where you're going, some people don't know how much work a woman has to put on to be able to sit on the table. But I know. Especially in a place like Nigeria, they're going to be pounding you every single day. But for you to still show up and continue to do it, I really honor and celebrate you, and it's such great inspiration to keep us going. So thank you, my sister, for what you're doing. Like you shared, we were in high school together, and look at where life has brought us. I'm very grateful to God, being around people who inspire me continuously. So, I mean, there are moments that you feel like, oh my goodness, I'm losing my mind. But you look on the left and you look on your right and you see someone that you went to school and say, okay, if she could do it, I can. Let's go. It doesn't matter what happens. I'll keep pushing. So thank you so much, my sister. I celebrate Sierra. I celebrate all of the great women, in this room. Coach Kemi, I celebrate you. She just lost her mom a few weeks ago. It takes a lot of strength to be here. And I really honor you for making out the time to be here. Dr. Chineme, she's about to go into surgery, I think later today. Some of these things really brings tears to me when people believe so much in what you're doing, that even though I know she's on sick bed about to get into surgery, she came to the session. It means a lot to me. It just shows you that, there are so many people behind you. You have to keep it going. And I celebrate everyone who has shared a little bit of themselves. Thank you so much. Thank you for not giving up. There's so many reasons why you would have given up, but you said, no, I'll keep it going. And you kept pushing. For all of us who are motherless, thank you for not giving up. It takes a lot to do it. Trust me, I make a joke about it, but I know you have your moments of crying bitter tears and crying dirty cry. I also have my moments, but we're still going. And to all of you who have not backed down, for you to be in this session, Olushola, I celebrate you. I love your spirit. I haven't met you before. Janet, I haven't met you. So many of you here, I haven't met you before, but thank you so much. I celebrate every one of you for saying yes to yourself, for saying yes to growth, for saying yes to a better Africa tomorrow. I really do celebrate all of you. And I do believe that we have so much more to do together. Please send us an email and let me learn about you. And let's see how you can be part of our community. Let's see how you can help other people. We have younger women than you, the older women. There's so much that we can do together. What programs are you doing? What initiatives? What projects? We are happy to work with you. So thank you so much and happy Pan-African Women's Day. I really enjoyed myself today. Dr. Anana, she had to go. I celebrate you. The Senator Lorraine, I celebrate you. I see your struggle trying to come into the session. Senator Hezena, I celebrate you. From Kenya, I see what people are doing with the Pan-Africa. I see it live online. And my fellow, I celebrate you. Honorable Karishma, I celebrate you. Thank you so much. And please be part of what we're doing every Saturdays. We have the African Women Show, and we bring in these women, individual women, and really delve into what they're doing. So if you wanted to connect more with them, that's a great place to be. So at this point, we have to round this up. Thank you so much, ladies. It's been an amazing time spending time with you. I really enjoyed myself, and it's great that we shared a lot. Let us go back and do differently. Let's not go back to do what we've always done. Let's go back to do things differently. Try to connect with our Honorable on social media and see what she's doing. How can you be part of that? What you can be part of, it could be as simple as helping her create content. For example, with the work she's doing, creating visibility, but she doesn't have the time to go and be posting on Facebook. But maybe you are a content creator and said, you know what, Honorable, I can help you with this part of you. That's how we can work together. So check people out and just see. My sister Zainab, I love you. Thank you so much. Check out what people are doing and connect. There's a room for us to grow. Mary Linda, I really appreciate you. I love you, my sister. God bless you. Thank you so much. If I haven't called anybody's name, Darlene, we love you. Thank you so much for making up the time to be here and all of your help. Edith, God bless you. Tolfat, God bless you. I'm Cholisili. I love you, my sister, from my Swatini. It said, I manage social media accounts. There you go, sis. Look at that. It just came out. So Grace Balasala, send a message to our Honorable and help them to do this work. Because when is she going to have time to go and sit on Facebook to write? People want to learn what's going on in her office, but she doesn't have the time. She can get on the phone with you. She can send you a voice note, and then you transcribe that to post it and show people what she's doing. And it takes that burden off. So please, Grace Balasala, thank you. Get in touch, because now you're going to take it on and start working with our Honorable. I love it. He said, I write too. You see, there's another person. Louis, you write. We need you. We need you guys for content. We need you guys for content. So please get in touch, and I will be happy to link you up with my sister so that you can help her with her work. We want to see more, of what she's doing. Somebody's interested in providing health education to our young girls. Wow, that's wonderful. Honorable, you've heard that. In case you need that, and we have these people, they are ready to come even on the mission trip. And I just want you people to know we're trying to put together a health trip, a health mission in Africa. So whether you're in the US and you want to get involved, please let us know. We're trying to do that. Especially we're focusing on fistula. We're focusing on fistula a lot. That's what I was asked to bring people to do that. So somebody's here for menstrual education. There you go. That's it. So that's how we can work together. Please send me an email. It's very easy. Louisa@louisaakaiso.com. And I will just direct you to the right channel and where you should begin to try from. So I'm going to let you go because I know it's pretty late for some of us. Please have a wonderful rest of your day, your evening, your night, your midnight. God bless you. Send us a message and share on social media and let people know what they missed and what they could be part of and other programs that are coming up. We're happy to work with you as ambassadors. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Bye for now. God bless you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye.